morning and welcome to CTV Morning Live. We're really glad that you can join all of us. Welcome, come on into the show here. Good morning to you, Will. Good morning, Melissa. The whole team is here. Woo! We're starting off right on your Monday. And now we're going to take a look at some of the world's most powerful leaders who are gathering in Alberta as the G7 summit gets started today. We're going to bring you the latest on this in your news headlines. But first, why don't we take a look at your wake-up weather?
And Will, for your first official day on the job, I brought you sunshine!
Yay! I was hoping that we'd continue from the finally a good weekend.
Right? Finally had a beautiful weekend. Guess what? It's going to continue into today. You're bringing the sunshine with us here this morning, and I'm going to deliver it to everybody else in Ottawa today. 28 is your daytime high, mainly sunny skies this morning into your afternoon. Full details coming up in a few minutes. First, our news headlines.
Prime Minister Mark Carney will be hosting the G7 summit in Alberta, bringing world leaders, including U.S. President Donald Trump, to this country. This will mark Trump's first visit to Canada since he started repeatedly saying the country should become America's 51st state, and since triggering a trade war that soured Canadians on the American administration. Trump stormed out of the last G7 summit that Canada hosted in 2018, and many will be watching this morning's meeting scheduled for 9 a.m. local time in Kananaskis, Alberta.
Home's not drones! Home's not drones!
Hundreds of protesters took to the streets around City Hall in Calgary yesterday ahead of the summit's opening. There were protests against conflicts in Ethiopia and between Israel and Hamas, and as well as Pakistan and India's latest conflict in Kashmir. And here in the capital, a group of Canadians will stage a die-in demonstration at 10:30 in the morning in front of Centre Block. Iran fired a new wave of missile attacks on Israel early this morning, triggering air raid sirens across the country. Israel said so far 24 people have been killed and more than 500 injured as Iran launched more than 370 missiles and hundreds of drones. Meanwhile, thousands of Canadians remain stranded in Iran and Israel. Global Affairs said in a statement Sunday that it has not received any reports of Canadians injured or killed in the escalating conflict. The government continues to urge Canadians to register with Ottawa if they are currently in the Middle East.
And emergency officials are investigating after 2 people were found dead from suspected carbon monoxide poisoning. The Gatineau Fire Department got the call around 7 p.m. on Saturday night. When they arrived, 2 people were found dead. It happened in the Aylmer area, about half an hour from downtown Ottawa. Fire officials say there was a carbon monoxide detector in the home, but neighbors say one of the victims lived here alone and was like family.
We're saddened, we're heartbroken, we're shocked. I don't know what to say. Hot days, she would come get us and say, "Why are you not in our pool? It's too hot, you need to swim." She's family.
Gatineau police says the incident is not considered suspicious, adding, when officers arrived, a car was running in the garage.
Jewish and interfaith leaders gathered at Ottawa's National Holocaust Monument, sending a message that hate has no place in Canada. Leaders stood shoulder to shoulder, representing diverse faiths, with a shared message that hate will not be tolerated. This comes after the National Monument became a crime scene last week when vandals defaced it with red paint and the words "Feed me."
I'm here to pray with my brothers and sisters, but I'm also here to show that we want concretely to build these bridges that will allow for peace.
Police continue to investigate the vandalism, which is being handled by the Hate and Bias Crime Unit. We have yet to receive an update about any arrests or potential suspects.
And there's a recall notice to let you know about for a baby toothbrush that was sold at Dollarama. Health Canada has issued a recall for the Oracare baby toothbrush. It's warning of potential choking hazard, and it says a manufacturing problem could cause the brush to break into pieces. If you have this item, you are urged to stop using it, return it to the store for a refund. Health Canada says Dollarama has received 1 consumer complaint, but there have been no choking incidents reported to date. And an investigation is underway in an altercation that ended in a shooting, leaving a man with serious injuries in the city's South End. Ottawa police now say one person is in custody after the altercation led to a shooting. This happened just before 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon in the 1600 block of Bank Street. Police say they believe it was a targeted incident and the investigation continues.
Ottawa Fire Service shared photos from the scene of a rescue this weekend.
Firefighters, along with an animal rescue crew, were called out to the home off Lookout Road last week, and they could hear whimpering coming from the drain pipe.
Yeah, they found 2 raccoons trapped inside and used poles and the cross sticks to attempt to rescue them. Sadly, one of the raccoons died. It took about 15 minutes to free the other, which is now recovering at a rehabilitation center.
Oh, look at that little raccoon. Why are they so cute and cuddly when someone's holding them, just not when they're in your yard being menaces, right?
Yeah, it's as soon as you take them out of that element and then in that situation, you completely change your mindset on what they're like.
Yeah, they're like, oh, they're so cute. My dad loves to tell stories about Rocky the raccoon to my kids. He made up a pet Rocky raccoon, and he makes these animated make-believe stories, and they love it so much. So every time we see a raccoon, we say, Rocky.
Rocky. They're very cute until they get into your garbage.
Exactly.
And then it's like,
Not so cute anymore.
no, exactly.
Or the ones in Toronto that are yay big. They're like 4 times the size.
They have no fear of humans whatsoever.
No, absolutely not.
All right, Melissa, what are we looking at as far as the weather is
Gorgeous
concerned?
weekend. I hope everybody got a little bit of sunshine.
Thank you very much. It was
You're welcome.
gorgeous.
I'll take
Finally.
credit for that. Finally, a beautiful weekend. More of it on the way today. It will be sunny and hot into the afternoon. However, we do have wet weather on the way as we head into tomorrow. So enjoy today because we could start to see some scattered showers, which will linger over a couple of days. We're sitting at 11 here this morning in Ottawa, 7 in Kemptville, 9 in Brockville, 8 in Cornwall, single digits in the valley as well, sitting at 7 in Pembroke, 3 currently in Maniwaki. So slightly cooler this morning than we'd like to be sitting, but hey, don't worry, this afternoon is looking very, very hot. Right now, we're seeing very clear skies to start off your morning. We will see so much sunshine to start things off, then into your afternoon, a few clouds. Tomorrow, it will start off sunny, but then late in the afternoon, that's when we could start to see some scattered showers in the forecast. So tomorrow morning will be dry. It's late in the afternoon, sometime after 2 p.m. that we could start to see some wet weather. And then this is going to kind of linger into your day Wednesday, Thursday before the sun is back as we head towards the end of the work week. The good news is with light winds again today, southwest winds gusting around 20 kilometers an hour. So very light winds in the forecast for us into your day ahead. Temperatures today reaching a high of 28. It's going to feel like 31 with that humidity outside. You could see sunshine this morning, a few clouds into the afternoon. The UV index very high today as well, sitting at 9 into the day ahead. So hot into the day ahead. Make sure you're taking precaution if you are in the sun. And then you could say after today, it's going to shift. We're going to see cloudier skies, more rain in the forecast for us. Temps will stay really warm though, 27 for Tuesday, Wednesday, 24 on Thursday. As we head in towards the end of the work week, the sunshine is back and it will be around as we head into the weekend as well. On your roads this morning, here's a live look at your time saver traffic. No major delays to report this morning. Traffic is moving well for now. Rosie.
5 years after the COVID-19 pandemic, wait times for some surgeries in Canada have not returned to pre-pandemic levels. Now, wait times for some cancer surgeries as well as joint replacements have actually increased. CTV's Sarah Plowman reports.
Tracy Knowlton's knees gave her trouble before she fell off her bike and broke her tibia 2 summers ago. To replace that knee, she's had to wait.
If anybody has ever dealt with chronic pain, they know that it's not just a physical thing. It affects your psyche. It affects your daily life.
A grueling 15-month wait. That's more than double the recommended time. She spoke to media recently and soon after got a call and a surgery date.
It hasn't been easy for me. I can't imagine how hard it is for other people.
5 years ago, the pandemic canceled and delayed surgeries, creating a backlog the Canadian Institute of Health Information says has been cleared. More surgeries are happening now than before the pandemic. Despite this, Canadians are waiting longer for some procedures like knee and hip replacements and cancer surgeries.
Because we're now also facing pressures from just the increasing needs of a growing and aging population, increasing medical complexity of patients, as well as health workforce shortages.
She notes provinces have strategies to reduce wait times.
The use of day surgeries or surgeries that don't require an overnight hospital stay. And this allows more patients who are eligible for procedures through day surgery to get their procedure hopefully sooner.
Some orthopedic surgeons say the data supports what they're seeing, that doctors aren't keeping up with demand as the population grows and ages.
Really, there are two ways to tackle it. There's a capacity side, which is, more physicians, specifically surgeons, more nurses, more beds, etc. And then there's the efficiency side, which is trying to make what we have work and go a bit further, make the dollar work further, so to speak.
The wait for diagnostic imaging, like MRIs and CT scans, has also increased. According to the report, the wait for an MRI is now 15 days longer than it was 6 years ago. Sarah Plowman, CTV News, Fredericton.
And today in the social room, we are kicking off our grad week by asking you, what's your favorite memory of your graduation? We know you've got some good ones in there. Let us know. Ottawa.morning@ctv.ca. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, and it was a beautiful weekend. 11 degrees outside. The sun is shining. Hopefully, we can keep that trend going all week long. Stay with us. You're watching CTV Morning Live.
Ottawa is always on the move.
We're a big city
with a laid-back vibe.
Where foodies love their sweets.
And markets bursting with flavor.
Wrapped up in waterways.
And hot summer days.
This is a city where culture is on display.
And the future
meets the past.
Where people come together.
Always proud.
Often loud. Whee!
And positively the best place to live.
We move with you, Ottawa!
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Sneha Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barrhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barrhaven Ford, the #1 Ford EV dealer in Ontario.
Chu delivers towards the far post. Oh, what a wonderful delivery. And out of nothing.
Welcome back, everybody. The Ottawa Rapid FC fell 2-1 to the Montreal Roses Sunday afternoon at TD Place. Ottawa's DB Pridham evened the score with the Roses in the 58th minute, but Montreal would come back and put up one more to win the match. The Roses maintain their lead at the top of the Northern Super League. Ottawa plays again Saturday at home against the Calgary Wild.
Welcome back to CTV Morning Live. Here's what you need to know right now. Prime Minister Mark Carney will be hosting the G7 summit in Alberta, bringing world leaders, including U.S. President Donald Trump, to this country.
In our forecast this morning, more sunshine that we saw all weekend long and a hot one, a high of 28 later on today. Mainly sunny skies this morning with a few clouds into the afternoon. On your roads this morning, here's a live look at your time saver traffic. Still no major issues to report on the roads. So far, things are moving well. Now let's check out your TSN must-see moment.
Hello there, welcome inside the Sports Center newsroom. Adam Scully here with your must-see moment from Sunday. And for it, we're heading to Philadelphia. Blue Jays visiting the Phillies. Bottom five, Nick Castellanos hits one to left. Alan Roden runs it down, makes the grab, slams into the wall. Roden crashes into the wall at full speed, but hangs onto the ball to complete an incredible catch. Robbing Castellanos of extra bases. That web gem is your must-see moment from Sunday. Monday on TSN, you can see Major League Baseball action when the Angels visit the Yankees. Coverage starts at 6 p.m. Central Time. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
Okay, so coming up in our social room, the question is, you know, share us your best memory of your grad night. And we're hoping for photos, we're hoping for like a description and happy moments, of course. What's your favorite memory of your graduation? So, you know, we'd love to get nosy on this show. So, Will, can you share a little bit of something with us?
Yeah, I can remember on grad night too, it was one of those nights when I got to hang out with a lot of people that maybe you didn't see or see outside of school. And I can already remember, I'm vividly remembering one photo, and it was my friend, oh, we got to get a photo of the moment, and I'm wearing my like Pop Pump Boys Like Girls t-shirt underneath the dress shirt and just having a good time.
I love it.
That's a special night. What about you?
Oh, yeah. I also had a really good time on grad. It seems like a long time ago. Like, I barely remember my university grad, let alone my high school grad, but, you know, some good memories for sure.
Okay, U.S. President Donald Trump will meet Prime Minister Mark Carney at the G7 summit in Alberta today. This is going to mark the first time Trump has come to Canada since he began saying he wanted to make Canada the 51st state. Let's check in with Bill Carroll from the Morning Rush on Newstalk 580 CFRA. Good morning to you, Bill. What a day it's going to be.
Yeah, and if you don't think these G7 summits are important, you make the point about this is his first visit since he started to talk about our sovereignty. Would any of that happen if things hadn't gone so very wrong last time we had a G7 in Canada? Because maybe you won't remember this, I think some of you will, but apparently Justin Trudeau and Donald Trump had talked about the very thing that we're talking about now, or one of them, steel tariffs, and that they'd reached some kind of an agreement. And then Justin Trudeau stepped outside, met the media, and talked tough, like he was going to stand up to Donald Trump and get an agreement. Donald Trump, the story goes, was watching this on Air Force One and was furious. Up until then, I think he was very charmed by Justin Trudeau. He used to talk about what a handsome fellow he was, and there were always photos of them posing together. Donald Trump likes good-looking people, and so, you know, everything seemed to be fine in our relationship. After that, it changed. Donald Trump takes things personally. I know that will surprise some of you, but yeah, he takes things personally. And he was understandably angry if that story is true, the way it's being told. But you would hope a world leader wouldn't take it personally and turn on an entire country. So, you know, there are tariffs on every country in the world. Canada would probably be part of that. But would he have been as tough on Canada recently, if not for how badly things went the last G7? I think probably not. So Mark Carney, our new prime minister, has to be very careful here. He has to flatter Donald Trump. He has to play to his ego. But at the same time, he has to be seen by Canadians, and I think by Donald Trump as well, as being strong and will stand up to him. So not going to be easy. They're supposed to meet today. There was a lot of talk that we'd have some kind of a trade agreement, at least the outline of one, in time for the G7. It seems kind of last minute now, but you never know. I wouldn't hold my breath for it. But it's going to be a big day, and it's going to be a big week.
Absolutely. And you know what, Bill? I think that the main goal here, as far as I can see, is to keep the peace. I mean, Mark Carney has invited Prime Minister Modi from India, also the president of South Africa, and also, of course, the president of Ukraine. And there you have Donald Trump will be amongst them. So I'm looking for, will folks get along even, you know, let alone actually have some sort of geopolitical agreement or policy?
Yeah, there's a strong indirect message there to Donald Trump from the prime minister, and that is there are other possible partners out there. There are other powers in the world that we can agree to make deals with. So you know, take us seriously, and I think that's probably a very positive thing. So we're off to a good start. But remember, Donald Trump's feelings are easily hurt. If, as a Canadian, you happen to run into him, don't mention the military parade this weekend and all the memes that made fun of the, let's admit it, mighty U.S. military. But boy, that parade looked disorganized and sloppy. And did you see the video of the guy holding up a little drone like a teenager or a real estate agent trying to get a photo of your house? And this is the U.S. military. It didn't go well. But just tell him if you see him, it was the biggest, the most beautiful, the boldest parade ever. You've never seen anything like it. And so many people showed up. It was the biggest crowd ever.
Got it. Thank you, Bill. You have a great show.
You too.
You can listen to The Morning Rush with Bill Carroll on Newstalk 580 CFRA from weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m.
Well, lawn bowling is a sport that's popular in many communities across Canada, but it has especially deep roots in Quebec. And now one man is making it his mission to attract a new generation towards the game. CTV's Denise Roberts has the story.
Ryan Craig was a child in Northern Ireland when he picked up his first bowl.
I came through the game at a young age because of my grandmother. She was an international coach for Ireland. And yeah, she gave me some coaching and I just fell in love with the game.
So when he moved to Pierrefonds 3 years ago, he immediately joined the local lawn bowling club. He not only found community, but this year he won the Quebec men's singles title.
So the trophy was first played for in 1925, and that was a pretty special moment to win that.
The game of bowls, or lawn bowling as it's known here, traces its roots back to ancient Egypt, but it found its true home in Scotland, and from there it was exported around the world, including Quebec. But in the last few decades, lawn bowling has taken a hit, as fewer people are taking it up.
We've probably went from 2,500 members down to 500 playing members. We used to have around 11 or 10 clubs. Now we're down to 5.
The Pierrefonds Lawn Bowling Club is owned by the city, but is run by volunteers. Carolyn McGarr is part of the Golden Girls League and says the bowling green provides community to those who may be isolated.
During the pandemic, we lost a lot of members to COVID, and it allowed their spouses to have somewhere to go, somewhere to share their feelings and their losses.
While it's popular with seniors, member John Devlin says it's important to grow the sport in schools.
Once they see it and try it, they need to be hooked on it. Once they give it a try, is to try and get away from the perspective that it's an old person's game.
Craig has already won his spot to represent Quebec. The next big match will be in Edmonton in August, where he'll have a shot at the national title. Denise Roberts, CTV News. Today in the social room, we are asking you, what's your favorite memory of your graduation? We're going to resume that conversation we had just a little bit earlier, and you're going to join in with us.
Yes.
Let us know. Ottawa.morning@ctv.ca.
Here's a live look at your drive-in right now. Traffic is smooth sailing as you head off to work. We're not seeing major delays this morning on your commute into work. Volume picking up slightly if you're heading in from the west end. So you can see around Richmond, Pine Crest, it starts to slow down, but still moving fairly decently at this time. It is 6:25. Temps right now sitting at 11 degrees. You can see that sun shining on your Monday morning. You're watching CTV Morning Live.
.30 on the nose. Welcome to CTV Morning Live. The gang is all here. We are so glad that you are here. And we're very glad with the weather as well, Melissa.
Absolutely. Hopefully everybody got outside this weekend. Did you get some time outdoors?
Yeah, finally got to go to that short drive now to the family cottage.
Nice.
And it was
so good.
It was such a lovely weekend. You were downtown too, enjoying it. It was so nice.
Some,
it was beautiful.
Cool vintage cars. And I know that you were very busy as well with the kiddos and home opener on a Friday, which was really nice as well.
Yeah, we're just going to forget about that.
I know, I'm sorry.
You called the weather though.
Yeah, I did.
You did.
The weather was perfect.
Did.
The weather was beautiful for Friday night. But yes, the score was not in our favor, but we got the next one, okay?
There you go.
The season is still early. Clear skies to start off your morning, sitting at 11 degrees right now. So nice and not too bad to start off your day, but at least it's nice and sunny. Full details on your forecast. How long will the sun stick around? I'll let you know. But right now, our news headlines.
Prime Minister Mark Carney will be hosting the G7 summit in Alberta, bringing world leaders, including U.S. President Donald Trump, to this country. This will mark Trump's first visit to Canada since he started repeatedly saying the country should become America's 51st state, and since triggering a trade war that soured Canadians on the American administration. Trump stormed out of the last G7 summit that Canada hosted in 2018, and many will be watching this morning's meeting scheduled for 9 a.m. local time in Kananaskis, Alberta.
Homes, not drones!
Hundreds of protesters took to the streets around City Hall in Calgary yesterday ahead of the summit's opening. There were protests against conflicts in Ethiopia and between Israel and Hamas, as well as Pakistan and India's latest conflict in Kashmir. And here in the capital, a group of Canadians will stage a die-in demonstration at 10:30 a.m. in the front of Center Block.
And Iran fired a new wave of missile attacks on Israel early this morning, triggering air raid sirens across the country. Israel said so far 24 people have been killed and more than 500 injured as Iran launched more than 370 missiles and hundreds of drones. Meanwhile, thousands of Canadians remain stranded in Iran and Israel. Global Affairs said in a statement Sunday that it has not received any reports of Canadians injured or killed in the escalating conflict. The government continues to urge Canadians to register with the federal government if they are currently in the Middle East. And emergency officials are investigating after 2 people were found dead from suspected carbon monoxide poisoning. The Gatineau Fire Department got the call around 7 p.m. on Saturday night. When they arrived, 2 people were found dead. It happened in the Aylmer area, about half an hour from downtown Ottawa. Fire officials say there was a carbon monoxide detector in the home, and neighbors say one of the victims lived here alone and was like family.
We're saddened, we're heartbroken, we're shocked. I don't know what to say. Hot days, she would come get us and say, "Why are you not in our pool? It's too hot, you need to swim." She's family.
And Gatineau police says the incident is not considered suspicious, adding, when officers arrived, a car was running in the garage. Police aren't identifying the victims as an autopsy is underway.
Jewish and interfaith leaders gathered at Ottawa's National Holocaust Monument in a show of unity against hate. The gathering comes after the monument was vandalized with messages written in red paint last week. The paint was quickly removed, but not before making a painful impact on the Jewish community. Yesterday's gathering was about reclaiming the space and sending a message that hate will not be tolerated. Ottawa Police Hate and Bias Unit is investigating the vandalism.
I'm here to pray with my brothers and sisters, but I'm also here to show that we want concretely to build these bridges that will allow for peace.
Police continue to investigate the vandalism, which is being handled by the Hate and Bias Crime Unit. We've yet to receive an update about any arrests or potential suspects.
An investigation is underway in an altercation that ended in a shooting, leaving a man with serious injuries in the city's south end. Ottawa police now say 1 person is in custody after the altercation led to a shooting. This happened just before 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon in the 1600 block of Bank Street. Police say they believe it was a targeted incident and the investigation continues. And there's a recall notice to let you know about for a baby toothbrush that was sold at Dollarama. Health Canada has issued a recall for the Oracare baby brush toothbrush, warning of a potential choking hazard. It says a manufacturing problem could cause the brush to break into pieces. If you have this item, you are urged to stop using it, return it to the store for a refund. Health Canada says Dollarama has received 1 consumer complaint, but there have not been any choking incidents reported to date.
And dill pickles are entering a new frontier.
Cup Noodles is releasing a dill pickle version. They say this combines the flavor of noodles with the tangy and sour taste of pickles.
I don't know about this one, guys. This is just part of a recent trend of fast food restaurants and even beer and drink companies making pickled flavored products.
Give me all the pickle flavor stuff.
Oh, yeah,
I love dill pickles.
I think I'm outnumbered on this one.
Do you like dill?
I'm not a huge fan, but a lot of the times when you go to the movies, everyone gets the dill, the seasoning packs and kind of mixes in.
Yes.
So, but I've just never been a huge fan of that dill flavor.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense to me. You know, when they make some of these crazy flavors for noodles that just doesn't really work
like
in my
Cheetos,
brain.
Flaming hot Cheetos, that's a weird one.
Some weird things.
Flaming hot dill Cheetos.
There is such a thing. For dinner, give me anything dill. I know dill martinis seem to be a trend this year. So my secret ingredient that I put in a Caesar is dill pickle juice. Like I take the dill pickle juice and stick it in a Caesar, and people are like, "Oh my God, your Caesar's so good." I'm like, "It's the dill." Yeah, but I could put dill in anything.
I could see that adding a lot of flavor towards that.
Dill.
That's a good item.
Give me all the dill. In our forecast today, we're going to see lots of sunshine this morning. It's going to be hot this afternoon, a little bit wet tomorrow. So if you're looking for some outdoor plans today and Friday are the 2 days that you won't see any rain. Right now, temperatures are sitting at 11 degrees, so at least we're in the double digits, but it is a little slightly cool out there this morning. In some areas, single digits, 8 in Kemptville, Cornwall, 9 in Brockville, single digits in Bancroft sitting at 5, 7 currently in the Valley, 5 as well in Maniwaki. The good news is, even though some areas a little bit cool to start off your morning, it's nice and sunny, so clear skies across the region to start off your day. We will start to see a few clouds rolling through late this afternoon, so a mix of sun and cloud throughout most of the day, but still lots of sunshine to enjoy throughout your Monday. As we head into tomorrow, it will start off a little bit cloudy for Tuesday, so increase the cloudiness tomorrow, and then we have some wet weather on the way. So you can see this green moving into your screen. Chance of scattered showers for us tomorrow, especially late in the afternoon, which will kind of linger then into your day on Wednesday as well as on Thursday. So we do have a couple of soggy days in the forecast for us throughout the middle of the work week, but we will see lots of sunshine still as we head into the weekend. Wind speeds very light today out of the southwest, gusting around 20 kilometers an hour. Lots of sunshine on the way, about 15 hours of sunshine for us today. 8:53 is when the sun will set later on tonight. UV index 8 today, very, very high. So there is a strong UV index into your afternoon especially. 28 for your high today, mix of sun and cloud, and then you can see the scattered showers from Tuesday and through Thursday. Temperatures will stay really warm over the next few days. 27 for Tuesday, Wednesday. Look at those overnight lows. Really, really warm even into the overnight, so not much relief if you don't like the hot, sticky weather. It's going to be quite hot this week. 24 as we head into Thursday as well as on Friday. Sunshine back from Friday right through into your weekend forecast.
Weather is brought to you by Manotick Place Retirement Community, a community you can call home.
And here's a live look at your time saver traffic. Starting to see that volume build now on the eastbound 417. It's slow moving near the 416 split. Continued delays just past Parkdale this morning. A few sticky spots as well westbound on the 174 coming through Cumberland approaching the ferry.
More than 350,000 people attended Grand Prix weekend in Montreal.
Yeah, Rosie, it was a critical year for the race after last year's season's difficulties.
CTV's Matt Grillo explains.
An hour to race time and the grandstands were packed. Fans were primed and ready to go.
This is the greatest weekend ever. We've had the temperature is awesome.
It was a weekend of fast cars and perfect weather, and the pressure was on for Montreal to deliver a top-notch event. The expectations are high for a city hosting an F1 race.
So many fans coming in now, and they kind of want to just turn it into like just a race, right? They want to turn this into like an experience, a fan experience.
Fans who spoke to CTV say they noticed improvements.
I think it's much better than last year, especially much more organization, less problems with the trains and everything, so seems to be going a lot better.
Best weekend ever. Good Father's Day. Can't complain.
Organizers promised changes for this Grand Prix. At the paddocks, teams had access to new 2-floor hospitality suites.
They've done a really great job in terms of like past events. They've kind of taken it to another level.
Another crucial improvement, how fans access the site.
The fluidity, the mobility, I think that's the key point. You don't want people to wait too long, you know, to experience they want to be on the site quick.
But for F1 fanatics, it's all about race day.
I just care about the race at the end of the day, as long as the race is good.
And for some, there is no doubt the Grand Prix will be back.
We had it for 47 years. We're going to have it for another 47 years. And, you know, we're signed up until 2031, and I'm sure that we will have good news for you soon.
An important change to the Grand Prix next year. The race has been moved from its usual June date and will now take place on the weekend of May 22nd to the 24th. Matt Grillo, CTV News.
Well, coming up, we are taking a look at what's trending, including a blockbuster trade in baseball. That story and more just ahead.
And here's a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam this morning. Nice, clear, sunny skies to kick off your Monday. Temps in Ottawa right now sitting at 11 degrees. It is 6:41. You're watching CTV Morning Live. Happy Monday.
CTV and TSN 1200 want you to be the Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week. Your team could win $1,000 for new equipment, tournament fees, or an incredible team party.
Shoot us a quick video uploaded at ctvottawa.ca. Whether it's hockey, ringette, choir, band, or any team in between. Each week, the winning team will join us live in studio at CTV Ottawa at 6 to claim their prize.
Enter today for your chance to be Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week.
Ready to grow your green thumb this season? Join CTV Morning Live every Friday as we plant the seeds for gardening success with local experts.
Good to Grow on CTV Morning Live, Fridays, brought to you in part by Robert Plant Greenhouses.
A 9th consecutive Canadian Grand Prix winner from the front row of the grid. A 4th different winner in 2025 for George Russell in his victory.
And Mercedes driver George Russell took the checkered flag at the Canadian Grand Prix on Sunday. Russell began the race in pole position and then never looked back, earning his first win of the season, but the 4th of his career. Red Bull's Max Verstappen finished second, while Russell's Mercedes teammate Kimi Antonelli came in third for his first ever podium finish.
Welcome back to CTV Morning Live. Here is what you need to know right now. Emergency officials in Gatineau are investigating after 2 people were found dead from suspected carbon monoxide poisoning.
More sunshine on the way for this morning into your afternoon. A high of 28 degrees today. High UV index into the day ahead. Chance of scattered showers Tuesday and Wednesday, but temps will stay warm with a high of 27. On your roads, no major issues to report. We are collision free. You can see volume starting to build still if you're heading eastbound of the 417, Richmond, Carling, Parkdale, Richmond. We're seeing some slowdowns this hour. The good news, no collisions to report.
Time Saver Traffic is brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
Well, if you weren't hungry this morning, this might change that. The inaugural Prescott Ribfest wrapped up 3 days of sizzling and grizzling on Sunday. CTV's Jack Richardson says many at the event say that there was no better way to celebrate Father's Day.
Having a rib fest close to home is exciting for Lorne Adams.
I got 2 orders of chicken and ribs. They look delicious. It's looking great. Beautiful day. Can't beat it.
The inaugural Prescott Ribfest featuring Ribs Royale and the Hogfather, both offering a tasty start to summer.
It's been a great weekend here in Prescott.
The town is about an hour drive south of Ottawa, and events like this draw a great crowd.
Wanted to do everything that we could to host and put on a really good show for the community and visitors. There's been certainly a big team effort that's gone into this.
Prescott Ribfest is run by Big Brothers Big Sisters of Leeds and Grenville, a charity that supports youth in the region.
We run these fundraisers in order to support our mentoring programs.
Ribfest is about more than just the ribs here. It's held annually in Brockville to raise funds for Big Brothers Big Sisters, but this year they've added Prescott to the schedule.
It's one of our biggest fundraisers of the year, and it's worked so well for 23 years that we decided to branch out to Prescott as well.
Local vendors paid a fee to set up, which goes towards the charity. But some went a step further.
Beer tents and Ribfest go hand in hand.
Windmill Brewery, just down the road from Prescott, set up a beer garden for the event. Proceeds from their sales are going directly to Big Brothers Big Sisters.
This is our way of helping out and being part of something that's really important to the community.
Jack Richardson, CTV News, Prescott.
Today in the social room, we are asking you, what was your favorite memory of your graduation?
Yeah, and we've had some good ones. I actually remember one too, not tripping as you go up on the top of the stage.
Yeah.
It was a big thing that was top of mind when you were heading up there.
Focus, right?
Yeah. Well, we're going to read one of our viewer comments. So, from our first one from Sherry, my favorite part of my graduation was getting dressed up, and my favorite part of my oldest daughter, Lacey's graduation, was seeing her with her friends dressed up and getting ready to go on to their grade 7 and their future.
Sherry, I love that. Carrie says, I graduated in 1985 from Lisker High School, and other than the amazing friends and, of course, the 80s music, my grad was at the Westin, and my best friend had hers at the Chateau Laurier. So we bopped back and forth between hotels all night long. When I think back on that night, I still get the biggest smile. Oh, that's wonderful, Carrie. Thank you so much for that. Thanks for sharing your grad night memories. Let's keep this conversation going. We want to hear from you. What's your favorite memory of your graduation? Let us know. Ottawa.morning@ctv.ca.
Time now to take a look at what's trending, and we're starting with this, a major trade in the baseball world. Star player Rafael Devers has been dealt to San Francisco from the Boston Red Sox. Devers will play for the Giants in exchange for some pitchers and new prospects. Devers' relationship with the Red Sox had been fractured in recent months as the team wanted to replace him on third base and move him to designated hitter position. Devers was only 2 years into a 10-year, $113.5 million contract. Whenever I read baseball contracts, I'm like, is this the right number? Like, am I reading this right? Are there too many zeros? No. It's insane, these contracts.
Yeah, it is far beyond everything else, and it is so ridiculous. Even when you read that number each and every day, it's like only a couple years in, he's still making that wild.
It's so crazy. So I guess baseball fans are talking about that. In more baseball news, the first American Pope sent a video message to his followers in the United States this weekend. The video message played on the Jumbotron at Wright Field, the home of Pope Leo's hometown Chicago White Sox.
Once again, the young people who are gathered here, I'd like to say that you are the promise of hope for so many of us. The world looks to you as you look around yourselves and says, we need you. We want you to come together to share with us in this common mission as church and in the society of announcing a message of true hope and of promoting peace, promoting harmony among all peoples.
And this was a very long video. If you think that clip was long, the pontiff actually appeared roughly for about 7 minutes via video at the event, which was organized by Chicago Archdiocese. It marked his first public address to the U.S. since his election on May 8th. And of course, he chose baseball as the field to, talk to all his followers. Kind of cool.
I think that's really cool, and it probably meant a lot towards the city too to have that message and then continue on with baseball being so
kind of makes
supplemented.
him a trendy pope.
Yeah, hey, all right.
Hip, a little hip. Making to that younger viewer as well.
Yeah, I think that it probably worked.
Yeah, absolutely. And pardon me, one new dad who marked his first ever Father's Day, get this, also happened to be celebrating, and I'm not reading this wrong, 135th birthday.
Oh my.
This is Goliath. He's a 234 kilogram, 517-pound Galapagos tortoise. He lived at the Zoo Miami and became a father for the first time earlier this month. Pardon me, my voice. When an egg laid by his partner Sweet Pea in January successfully hatched. According to Goliath's official records, he was born sometimes between 1885 and 1890 in the Galapagos Islands before coming to the U.S. in 1929. This marks the first time one of his endangered species has hatched at the South Florida Zoo. Look at that. Age is just a number.
Yeah.
When you're a turtle, you could become a tortoise. You can become a dad at 135 years old.
Slowly
never too late.
Getting up to 135. Very much like the baseball contract. 135 years, 135 million.
It's wild. I just love this story. I had to read it a couple times. I'm like, wait, 135 and he became a dad. I'm so confused. And then I saw it was a tortoise. So it all kind of made sense to me.
Hopefully that the little one too can grow up to get to 135 too, or potentially beyond.
Right, exactly. Incredible. That's a look at what's trending. Lots more to come here on CTV Morning Live as we take a look at your drive-in right now, and traffic moving fairly well this hour. Starting to see some slowdowns if you're heading eastbound on the 417, Carling, Parkdale, Richmond. We are seeing heavier volume this morning, but the good news, collision-free and the sun is shining. It is 11 degrees at 6:55. You're watching CTV Morning Live.
CTV and TSN 1200 want you to be the Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week. Your team could win $1,000 for new equipment, tournament fees, or an incredible team party.
Shoot us a quick video uploaded at ctvottawa.ca. Whether it's hockey, ringette, choir, band, or any team in between. Each week, the winning team will join us live in studio at CTV Ottawa at 6 to claim their prize.
Enter today for your chance to be Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week.
Ottawa is always on the move.
We're a big city
with a laid-back vibe.
where foodies love their sweets
and markets bursting with flavor,
wrapped up in waterways
and hot summer days.
This is a city where culture is on display
and the future
meets the past,
where people come together,
always proud,
often loud,
and positively the best place to live.
We move with you, Ottawa!
Today, the stage is set for a high-stakes meeting of G7 leaders in Alberta.
For us to be at that table with these other really influential countries is incredibly important for Canada.
What's on the agenda as hundreds of protesters gather ahead of the summit's opening day? If you've been on TikTok or Instagram lately, you've definitely seen videos like this one.
Are Labubus an economic indicator for a recession? Besides being super cute, the rise actually ties into a larger pattern, how consumers adjust their spending in uncertain times.
We discuss the trend of recession indicators in today's Money Monday segment. And how a Heart Institute scientist is taking inspiration from a popular dessert to develop a device that could make heart surgery safer. It's Monday, June 16th. You're watching CTV Morning Live. Good Monday morning to you. Just after 7 o'clock, welcome to CTV Morning Live and welcome to the new team. Come on in here. Will, it's so great to have you. Melissa, it's also great to have you back. The team.
Yes.
We're here, Dream Team. I'm loving it here.
Yeah, brand new team. You guys have welcomed me with open arms since last week. And I mean, even towards the end of last week, I was like itching to get on here.
And then
with
the
you
day was
guys.
here. The day came, finally.
And now we are finally here. Very grateful to be with you two moving forward.
It's great.
1 hour down, 2 hours to go.
There we go. Well, the top story we are following today is the G7 summit taking place in Alberta. Starting today, U.S. President Donald Trump will be meeting with Prime Minister Mark Carney. More on that in just a moment. But first, Melissa, has your wake-up weather and hopefully the continuation of some sun.
Right. Everybody saw a beautiful weekend and thinking, hey, is the sun going to stick around as we head back to class? And yes, it is. 28 is the daytime high for today, mainly sunny skies. So if you're outside waiting for the school bus, current temperatures in the city sitting at 11 degrees. Full details on when we are expecting some wet weather. First, our news headlines.
Prime Minister Mark Carney will be hosting the G7 summit in Alberta, bringing world leaders, including U.S. President Donald Trump, to this country. This will mark Trump's first visit to Canada since he started repeatedly saying the country should become America's 51st state, and since triggering a trade war that soured Canadians on the American administration. Trump stormed out of the last G7 summit that Canada hosted in 2018, and many will be watching this morning's meeting scheduled for 9 a.m. local time in Kananaskis, Alberta.
Homes, not drones! Homes, not drones!
Hundreds of protesters took to the streets around City Hall in Calgary yesterday ahead of the summit's opening. There were protests against conflicts in Ethiopia and between Israel and Hamas, as well as Pakistan and India's latest conflict in Kashmir. And here in the capital, a group of Canadians will stage a die-in demonstration at 10:30 this morning in front of Center Block.
And Iran fired a new wave of missile attacks on Israel earlier this morning, triggering air raid sirens across the country. Israel said so far 24 people have been killed and more than 500 injured, and Iran launched more than 370 missiles and hundreds of drones. Meanwhile, thousands of Canadians remain stranded in Iran and Israel. Global Affairs said in a statement Sunday that it has not received any reports of Canadians injured or killed in the escalating conflict. The government continues to urge Canadians to register with the federal government if they are currently in the Middle East. And emergency officials are investigating after 2 people were found dead from suspected carbon monoxide poisoning. The Gatineau Fire Department got the call around 7 p.m. on Saturday night. And when they arrived, they found 2 people dead. It happened in the Almer area, about half an hour from downtown Ottawa. Fire officials say there was a carbon monoxide detector in the home, but neighbors say one of the victims lived here alone and was like family.
We're saddened, we're heartbroken, we're shocked. I don't know what to say. hot days, she would come get us and say, why are you not in our pool? It's too hot. You need to swim. She's family.
In Gatineau, police say the incident is not considered suspicious, adding, when officers arrived, a car was running in the garage, but police aren't identifying the victims, and an autopsy is underway.
Jewish and interfaith leaders gathered at Ottawa's National Holocaust Monument in a show of unity against hate. The gathering comes after the monument was vandalized with messages written in red paint last week. The paint was quickly removed, but not before making a painful impact on the Jewish community. Yesterday's gathering was about reclaiming the space and sending a message that hate will not be tolerated.
I'm here to pray with my brothers and sisters, but I'm also here to show that we want concretely to build these bridges that will allow for peace.
Police continue to investigate the vandalism, which is being handled by the Hate and Bias Crime Unit. We've yet to receive an update about any arrests or potential suspects.
An investigation is underway in an altercation that ended in a shooting, leaving a man with serious injuries in the city's south end. Ottawa police now say one person is in custody after the altercation led to a shooting. This happened just before 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon in the 1600 block of Bank Street. Police say they believed it was a targeted incident, and the investigation continues. And there's a recall notice to let you know about for a baby toothbrush that was sold at Dollarama. Health Canada has issued a recall for the OraCare Baby Brush Toothbrush, warning of a potential choking hazard. It says a manufacturing problem could cause the brush to break into pieces. And if you have this item, you're urged to stop using it and return it to the store for credit. Health Canada says Dollarama has received one consumer complaint, but there have not been any choking incidents to report at this time.
Well, sometimes you just need a little something extra to add to songs.
And beautiful, that's wow. Jeffrey. They've been recreating hit songs with the saxophone. The one you're hearing is a cover of Taylor Swift's Cruel Summer.
Most recently, Jeffrey shared a sax cover of Sabrina Carpenter's latest single, Man Child. It's like going way back, like 1990s kind of feel like, wow, when you add the sax in there for that sax solo.
A lot of power with it too. It kind of wakes you up, and then you're immediately immersed in the sound, because it's something you don't hear as often these days.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Adds a little punch to it, I found too, just hearing that saxophone. Onto something, Jeffrey.
I think so too.
Yeah, love it.
Weather-wise, what do you got for us looking at Monday?
More sunshine. It's going to be another beautiful day for us here in the nation's capital. So let's find out our weather picture for today. And this is brought to you by Box Me Up, moving, staging, renovating. Box Me Up. Visit boxmeup.ca to book your mobile storage container today. And Andre sent this in to us. It's a mama loon is patiently nesting and waiting for the arrival of chick or chicks. This photo was taken at Donaldson Lake. Beautiful photo. Look at that. Wow. Fantastic photo. Thank you, Andre, for sending that in to us. Of course, we love seeing your weather shots as well here on CTV Morning Live. All you have to do, email them to us, weathershots@ctv.ca. Again, that email address is weathershots@ctv.ca. And in your weather story today, sunshine for today, some heat this afternoon, and then a little bit of wet weather on the way for tomorrow. But hey, at least the wet weather will get out of the way throughout the work week, and then the weekends are looking nice and sunny again as we head into next week. Temperatures have warmed up a little bit this morning, sitting at 14 degrees now, and finally double digits. Kemptville, Cornwall sitting at 12, 13 in Brockville. Still single digits out in the valley, sitting at both 7 in Pembroke as well as in Petawawa. So clear skies, lots of sunshine this morning. We will start to see a few clouds around noon hour today, so mix of sun and cloud throughout most of the late part of your afternoon. Still lots of sunshine on the way, though, and the UV index very high today, sitting at 8 into the afternoon. Tonight, clear skies. Tomorrow morning, it will start off a little bit cloudy, and then late in the afternoon tomorrow, we are expecting some scattered showers. So this is late in the afternoon tomorrow. Sometime after 2 p.m. is when we could start to see that wet weather. It will kind of to linger then into your day on Wednesday as well and Thursday. So some wet weather on the way throughout the middle of the work week. Wind speeds still very calm today. Southwest winds gusting around 20 kilometers an hour. You can see winds not really a major factor into your forecast for today. For kids heading to school, though, I know only a couple of recesses left, some kids, and by the end of the work week. So if you're looking for your recess forecast today, 19 and 22 throughout your morning. Again, lots of sunshine early this morning. Make sure you're wearing that sunscreen into the afternoon. Temperatures in the mid to high 20s. 28 is our daytime high. We'll reach that by 1 p.m. Your 7-day forecast is brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Center, celebrating 80 years in family business. And here's a look at that 7-day forecast. Very hot to start off the work week. Temperatures in the high 20s from today right through until Wednesday. Sunshine today, then a few scattered showers Tuesday and through Thursday. Temperatures still warm into the end of the work week. Nice and sunny from Friday in through the weekend. Here's a live look at your time saver traffic. We are seeing heavy volume on the eastbound 417 from the 416 split. Westbound, pretty easy drive in so far. If you are heading on the 417, there is some moderate volume from the Vanier Parkway to Nicholas. Also seeing delays 174 westbound approaching the Cumberland Ferry this morning.
All right, if you've been on TikTok or Instagram lately, you've probably seen a couple of videos just like this.
This right here shows you that America's about to go into recession.
Beauty trends are recession clues, like how everybody is suddenly into princess nails.
Are Labubus an economic indicator for a recession? Besides being super cute, the rise actually ties into a larger pattern, how consumers adjust their spending in uncertain times.
So all over TikTok, people are calling different trends and phenomena recession indicators. But what does this trend actually mean, and what does it tell us about how much we talk about tough economic times? Jessica Morehouse is a personal finance expert and author of Everything But Money. Jessica, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so you never know what's going to happen these days, when the trends are going to set off, where you're going to see them. This one on TikTok. So what do you think this viral meme is talking about recession indicators, says about the way that we are currently talking about money?
I think overall what this trend is saying is what the overall sentiment of the economy, the stock market, the world at large is with Gen Z, millennials especially. I have a problem with a lot of these indicators because, we've seen a lot of these indicators. This is nothing new, FYI. Nothing on TikTok is new. It's just repackaged because there used to be lots of small indicators to kind of cause a lot of worry and anxiety with people that usually don't have much to do with anything. There was actually an indicator back in the 20s that some economists said, we're seeing hemlines grow longer. That means we're headed towards a recession if people are wearing longer skirts. And there's a bunch of other ones out there that usually have nothing to do with anything. So I feel like, it might be just like to get a good sense of like, how are people feeling? How are they reacting to, the news, the uncertainty that once again we're in. Just similarly, we were in this kind of position in 2020, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of recession talk. Here we are again, just 5 years later. But what I would, really advise is, number one, don't ever get any kind of financial or economy news from TikTok. But, really look at the real indicators, such as GDP contraction, lower industrial output, growing unemployment, the stock market declining, the inverted yield curve. And when you look at some of these actual real indicators of a possible recession, the story may look a little bit different, or it may not be very clear if we are actually headed to a recession or when that will be. Just as an example, GDP actually increased by 0.5% in the first quarter of the year. Although we have seen growing unemployment, that could also be for a number of reasons. I know a lot of people are concerned about their jobs because of AI and things like that. So it may not necessarily just be due to, companies worried about a possible recession. It could be due to multiple reasons. And the stock market is actually up in Canada. We're actually doing really well. We're at kind of an all-time high. Not really the same thing in the US. And so there's a lot of factors to really take a look at besides, I don't know, Beanie Babies or whatever the hell those things were.
Beanie Babies, that's bringing me way back. I remember the first one. But I think you said something important really early on. This isn't new information. It's just being absorbed maybe to a younger audience through TikTok, but things haven't changed. So sticking with the younger generation, obviously they have an uncertain financial future, as many of us do during this time. What do you think this trend says for them when you see stuff like this on TikTok, on social media?
Well, I mean, on the one hand, I don't love that it is, maybe causing them undue, fear and anxiety and making them want to do things that maybe won't be good for their financial futures. If you're hearing we're headed for a recession, you're going to be, less likely to start investing because you think, well, maybe I should just be, incredibly frugal, save all my pennies, and maybe I should stick with my current job, even though it doesn't pay well and I don't love it. I'm just not going to take any risk because taking a risk during these uncertain times seems like a bad idea. However, sometimes it makes sense to maybe look for a better paying job if they're out there, because that could actually help you. If we do enter a recession, you're going to be earning a higher income. Same with investing, even though a lot of people are afraid to invest when maybe the stock market looks a bit volatile. Investing as soon as possible, especially when you're young, is one of the best things that you can do. And so delaying that by a couple of years due to fear from watching these TikTokers make you afraid of doing anything with your money is not something that I would recommend at all.
Well, wise words in an uncertain time. Jessica, thanks so much for stopping by and spending some time with us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
And don't forget, you can pick up Jessica Morehouse's book, Everything But Money, at your favorite local bookshop. Stay with us. We have much more to come right here on CTV Morning Live. We'll be right back. And a live look at our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. It is 11 degrees. The sun has been shining all weekend long. Saturday, Father's Day, was beautiful. Melissa has some good news for us. Temperatures are continuing to climb, but maybe a little bit of rain in the future. Stay with us. You're watching CTV Morning Live. And we want to hear from you. Send us a weather picture, and you could see it right here on the show. Just send an email to weathershots@ctv.ca. Again, that's weathershots@ctv.ca.
Welcome back to CTV Morning Live. Here's what you need to know right now. Prime Minister Mark Carney will be hosting the G7 summit in Alberta, bringing world leaders, including U.S. President Donald Trump, to this country.
In your forecast this morning, some sunshine to kick off your Monday. 28 is the daytime high for today. Then a few scattered showers Tuesday and through Wednesday. Temps will stay nice and warm with highs of 27. On your roads, here's a live look at your time saver traffic. Seeing heavy volume now eastbound 417 from the 416 split. Westbound, pretty easy drive so far on the 417. Just moderate volume from Vanier Parkway to Nicholas. We're also seeing delays at 174 westbound as you approach the Cumberland Ferry.
Israel and Iran continued to volley strikes over the weekend as the death toll in both countries is rising. Canadians with family in Iran say they fear for their loved ones' safety.
The roads are completely packed. Fuel is hard to come by for their vehicles. They are concerned that if they go to another town, that other town might be hit.
Meantime, U.S. President Donald Trump is vowing to bring peace between the warring nations as the conflict widens. Trump says, quote, many calls and meetings are taking place to establish a deal between the countries. Joining me now with more on this is retired Major General David Fraser. He is the military analyst for CTV News. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good to be with you, Rosie.
Great to have you on the show. U.S. President Donald Trump says he wants to help the two countries make a deal to stop the fighting. What are the two countries looking to make a deal on?
Well, first of all, I don't think either country is looking to make a deal right now because they've got only fight in their hearts right now. Because the Israeli Prime Minister just announced that they've got almost complete freedom of movement in the air, which just kind of opens the door for more attacks on Iran. And Iran, in response, have got to find some sort of retribution for what's happened here. Until that is satisfied, the president, who probably will be the person that's going to resolve this in the end, won't have any opportunities. But the fact that he's talking about this is good news.
What is the significance of these two countries exchanging missile fire like this? What's the effect overall in the region, in the Middle East?
Well, the Middle East is a tinderbox right now because for the first time in decades, Israel and Iran are exchanging missiles because Israel has attacked the nuclear capability of Iran. And not only that, they have killed a number of senior leadership. I mean, if you want to talk about, is this leadership change? regime change is about as close as you can get without going against after the top person. And we've heard what the president said about that. But this is about Israel believing, this is their story, that the nuclear capability of Iran is just around the corner, and they're not prepared to accept that in any shape or form. So they're attacking the nuclear facilities. As a result, we now have a real war, and it could drag in other Middle Eastern countries, and it could drag in the United States.
The U.S. president also reportedly intervened to stop Israel from killing Iran's supreme leader. How will this impact the conflict?
Well, I also, when we take that apart, what I really see is the Israeli prime minister is going to do what he thinks is right for his country, notwithstanding what the United States are saying. I don't think the states have the same power as they had years ago. We are seeing a very confident and assertive Israeli prime minister that will do whatever they think they want to do. And I think the United States is being dragged along to a certain degree on this war. So I don't think there's any benefit for Israel to take out the leader of the country at this stage in the game. It would actually create even more uncertainty and chaos that they cannot control. Right now, they want to go after a capability. They're very focused on that capability, and they want to put pressure on the leadership to stop, developing that capability.
Retired Major General David Fraser, military analyst for CTV, we want to thank you for sharing your expertise on the Middle East and the conflict going on there right now. Thank you very much for your time.
Rosie, thank you.
We'll be right back with so much more at 7:25. You can see plenty of sunshine out there. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. Right now, we're at 14 degrees. CTV Morning Live will be right back. Good morning, Ottawa.
All right, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Thanks for joining us here on CTV Morning Live. The brand new team is here, ready to give you everything that you need for the week ahead, including some beautiful sunshine.
Oh, right.
Love
I know.
it.
Always a lot of pressure coming after a beautiful weekend like that. It's like, is the weather going to continue? Yes, for today, it absolutely is. We have sunny skies today, hot into the afternoon. Tomorrow, it is looking a little bit wet. The good news is most of that rain happening throughout the work week, and then the weekends are looking fantastic yet again next weekend. Full details coming up in a few minutes. First, our news headlines.
Prime Minister Mark Carney will be hosting the G7 summit in Alberta, bringing world leaders, including U.S. President Donald Trump, to this country. This will mark Trump's first visit to Canada since he started repeatedly saying the country should become America's 51st state, and since triggering a trade war that soured Canadians on the American administration. Trump stormed out of the last G7 summit that Canada hosted in 2018, and many will be watching this morning's meeting scheduled for 9 a.m. local time in Kananaskis, Alberta.
Homes, not drones! Homes, not drones!
Hundreds of protesters took to the streets around City Hall in Calgary yesterday ahead of the summit's opening. There were protests against conflicts in Ethiopia and between Israel and Hamas, as well as Pakistan and India's latest conflict in Kashmir. And here in the capital, a group of Canadians will stage a die-in demonstration at 10:30 in the morning in front of Center Block.
And Iran fired a new wave of missile attacks on Israel early this morning, triggering air raid sirens across the country. Israel said so far 24 people have been killed and more than 500 injured as Iran launched more than 370 missiles and hundreds of drones. Meanwhile, thousands of Canadians remain stranded in Iran and Israel. Global Affairs said in a statement Sunday that it has not received any reports of Canadians injured or killed in these escalating conflicts. The government continues to urge Canadians to register with the federal government if they are currently in the Middle East. And emergency officials are investigating after 2 people were found dead from suspected carbon monoxide poisoning. The Gatineau Fire Department got the call around 7 p.m. on Saturday night. And when they arrived, 2 people were found dead. It happened in the Aylmer area about half an hour from downtown Ottawa. Fire officials say there was a carbon monoxide detector in the home, but neighbors say one of the victims lived here alone. and felt like family.
We're saddened, we're heartbroken, we're shocked. I don't know what to say. Hot days, she would come get us and say, why are you not in our pool? It's too hot, you need to swim. She's family.
Gatineau police say the incident is not considered suspicious, adding, when officers arrived, a car was running in the garage, but police aren't identifying the victims until an autopsy is underway.
Jewish and interfaith leaders gathered at Ottawa's National Holocaust Monument in a show of unity against hate. The gathering comes after the monument was vandalized with messages written in red paint last week. The paint was quickly removed, but not before making a painful impact on the Jewish community. Yesterday's gathering was about reclaiming the space and sending a message that hate will not be tolerated.
I'm here to pray with my brothers and sisters, but I'm also here to show that we want concretely to build these bridges that will allow for peace.
Police continue to investigate the vandalism, which is being handled by the Hate and Bias Crime Unit. We have yet to receive an update about any arrests or potential suspects.
An investigation is underway in an altercation that ended in a shooting, leaving a man with serious injuries in the city's South End. Ottawa police now say one person is in custody after the altercation led to a shooting. This happened just before 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon in the 1600 block of Bank Street. Police say they believe it was a targeted incident and the investigation continues. And there's a recall notice to let you know about for a baby toothbrush that was sold at Dollarama. Health Canada has issued a recall for the OraCare Baby Brush Toothbrush, warning of a potential choking hazard. It says a manufacturing problem could cause the brush to break into pieces. If you have this item, you're urged to stop using it, return it towards the store for a refund. Health Canada says Dollarama has received only one consumer complaint, but there have been no choking incidents reported to date.
Noah Khan shared this video of him and Post Malone jamming out.
I ain't proud of all the punches that I've thrown in the name of someone I don't know. You're the shame of being young, drunk, and alone.
I love that. All right, so there you go. They're strumming along to the 2022 hit song Dial Drunk. Both of them can be heard singing in this acoustic rendition.
A good combination there.
Yeah.
It was recorded backstage ahead of their duet at Bud Walton Arena last week in Arkansas. Khan captioned the video, "Good to be back, buddy."
I love it. Everybody collabing with Post Malone lately. It feels like Taylor Swift. You had Morgan Wallen. Now Noah Khan.
I feel like he has a good vibe around him, and
he
people are
does.
probably drawn, and you can do fun things like that. You know, just put together a quick acoustic performance. Obviously, they're all having a good time.
He is versatile.
Yeah, he's
no
very
doubt
versatile.
about
You
that.
can go in all different genres: country, pop, hip hop, all of the musics. I'll be singing "Walking on Sunshine."
Whoa.
There we go.
There
You didn't need that on a Monday morning, but you got it.
I got it. It's okay.
You
We need the sunshine.
You can't make me sing alone and ruin everybody's eardrums. We are seeing lots of it in the forecast this morning. Sunshine again throughout your Monday. 14 degrees, so we are in the double digits. Puts a smile on my face to know we have another beautiful day continued from the weekend. 12 in Kemptville, Cornwall, 13 out in Brockville. Double digits now in the valley. They were a little bit cooler this morning. They're now sitting at 10 degrees, 12 currently if you are in Gatineau. So here's a look at our skies. Clear out there to start off your morning, which means lots of sunshine. And then into the afternoon, we will start to see a few clouds, but still lots of sunshine, just a mix of sun and cloud throughout your day ahead. This evening, a little bit cloudy into your overnight. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, it will start off clear, a little bit cloudy, but we will see dry conditions to start things off. It's late in the afternoon. You can see by about 4 p.m. we are expecting some scattered showers in the forecast as we head into tomorrow. And then it's going to stay wet for a few days. Not a complete wash. There will be some breaks in between, but Wednesday, Thursday, also expecting some scattered showers. The good news is everything will clear out in time for the weekend. Wind speeds today, hardly a factor. Very light winds coming in out of the southwest, gusting around 20 kilometers an hour today. Hot 28 this afternoon, so a very hot and sticky day in the forecast. Maybe find a beach or somewhere to cool off this afternoon. The UV index high today sitting at 8 into the afternoon, so a very high UV index for us. Make sure you are taking precaution and breaks if you are working outside today in the sun. 27 for tomorrow, so it will stay hot Tuesday and through Wednesday, but again, we're going to see those scattered showers right through till Thursday. As we head into the weekend, sunshine is back from Friday right through until Sunday. Here's a live look at your drive-in right now with your time saver traffic, and still no major issues to report on your roads. Traffic is actually looking fairly decent. A little heavy if you're heading eastbound on the 417 right from the 416 split. Pretty much in through downtown, we're dealing with heavier volume. You could see a look at it at Pinecrest, Woodruff, heavier volume this hour through Carling as well. The split into downtown heading westbound is still looking fairly decent this morning.
Time Saver Traffic is brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
It is time now to celebrate some birthdays. We love this. I think we're starting off with Sunday birthdays. We have to say happy 8th birthday to Ella Lynn. Love from Mommy, Keontae, Ethan, Adriana, Emma, Ricky, your aunts and uncles.
Oh, lots of family there.
Yeah.
And happy birthday to this Ottawa Black Bears fan, Cameron. He's 8 years old. Love your mom, dad, sister, Clara, and your fun sister, Nala. Have the best day celebrating. We love you.
We have a happy first birthday. This is going out to Olivia. Look at how sweet. This is with love from Mamere.
Happy 4th birthday to Carter. Love from your whole family.
And some birthdays to celebrate today, June 16th. Wishing a happy 10th birthday to Elliot. Love you to the moon and back from Mom and Dad, Owen, Nana, and Papa.
And we are wishing a very happy 3rd birthday to Emily. We hope you have an amazing day. Love Mommy, Daddy, Brother Jackson, Nanny, Papa, Grammy, and Pappy.
Skylar is celebrating his 9th birthday on Monday, June 16th. Mama, Mammy, Nana, and Papa are wishing you a happy birthday.
And if your little one has a happy birthday, we would love to share with our viewers. Please send announcements for kids who are 13 years old or younger. All we need is their name, age, hometown, of course, the photo, and a message. Email us ottawa.birthdays@ctv.ca. We'll get your announcement on the air.
All right, move over, baby showers. Grandma is getting her own party now.
Ashley and Gord dive into the bizarre trend of grandparent showers and asking the important question, why does Nana need a party?
So when something amazing happens, people want to celebrate that, right?
Pop some bottles.
There's a celebration for everything, and maybe that has occupied your entire summer calendar. Have we gone too far with this one? Because the new trend right now is baby showers, but not for the parents, for the grandparents.
So grandma, grandpa sit down.
Yes.
Everyone comes over.
Imagine, this is on top of having to attend the baby shower for the actual parents. And so some people are saying that this is a heartwarming way to celebrate a new chapter in someone's life. Others think it's a little inappropriate and even a little narcissistic. We had so many people weighing in on their thoughts about this. Tamara sent us a text. She's actually a grandmother. And she says she would be against this type of shower. She says, for grandparents, we've already had a baby shower. Remember when we had our kids? That was our shower. Why are you putting so much pressure on people? We asked you to text us and give us a call. And Kathy on the line right now. Kathy, how are you feeling about the whole grandparent shower?
I understand you're really happy and you want to celebrate. So just have like your own party, a get-together. But it's like a shower is you're expected to bring gifts. Right?
Okay, so you're saying as long as there's no gift involved and it's just a party, then you're good with it?
Yeah, celebrate your grandparentship. I can understand that.
And just put yourself into the grandparent's shoes, Kathy. Is there something that maybe you wouldn't buy for yourself that maybe some people could pitch in on? Because I'm thinking like, hey, if we're holding this grandparent shower, I could use, a new set of Callaways.
No, that's what she's saying. She's saying no gifts.
It's a money grab. I think showers now have just turned into a money grab.
All right. Okay, so as long as there's no gifts, you're good with the grandma or the grandbaby shower.
Exactly.
Brittany, what are your thoughts on the grandbaby showers?
I can't say I'm a huge fan. I think there's already lots of showers that exist, and it's just one too many to add another grandparent shower.
It's too many, Brittany. I'm with you. It's just like one after the other. Like it's just too much.
And by the way, think of yourself as the pregnant daughter. You're going to be the one that has to throw this grandbaby shower.
Oh, yeah, wait a minute.
So you're 8 months pregnant.
Do you have to throw it?
You have to throw it.
No,
you can't throw
I'm
your
not
own
throwing
shower.
that. Are
You can't
kidding
throw
me?
your own shower.
I'm making a human.
You can't throw your own.
I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it.
Absolutely not. Who's throwing this? or I'm getting all fired up. Okay.
Too much.
It's
too
too.
much.
We agree.
Yeah.
It's too much. We're not fans. I'm not sure if you could tell.
Well, as expected, a lot of mixed reaction amongst everyone, but mother of two, initial reactions.
No, we are done with the showers. I find it a lot even just having baby showers, because now I find the new trend is you have baby showers for every baby you have. I can understand if there's a big gap or if they're different, parents involved, like if it's your second relationship, that kind of thing. However, I just think we've gone too far with showers. We don't need a Nana shower because Nana's coming to your baby shower, right? Like Nana's maybe probably throwing your baby shower, coming involved in the actual baby shower. To have one more thing added to your plate, I just think it seems unnecessary and a lot of work, a lot of planning, a lot of pressure on the people, because if you're invited to 2 showers, you might choose Nana's shower over the actual baby shower.
Yeah,
you know what
family
I mean?
drama gets in the mix.
Yeah.
It's a little too much.
I think it's incredible because I thought about just what Ashley said. So it's a shower. So the shower for the person just walks in and goes, hey, fet me. So you mean grandma and, Nana's like, okay, just have a shower for me.
Yep.
No. It's the opposite. It's like grandma is in there like, what you need? What do you got? Okay, I'm here to help out. That's what grandmas mostly are here to do and celebrate the new birth. Maybe afterward, grandma was like a couple of years later or even months later, grandma, you've done such an amazing job helping me with the baby. I'm going to have a party for you. But like before, just sort of walking in, I'm the grandma.
It's a strange phenomenon in my eyes.
And they're already so immersed in the original shower. And I mean, I don't know if even the grandparents, do they want a full party based on that? I think they just want to spend time with the family, maybe on the side. But I don't know if they need a whole shower dedicated just for them.
I would love to hear from grandmas and grandparents. And like, do you really want that?
Are you in or you out?
Probably not. Don't forget, you can listen to Ashley and Gord on the Morning Pickup every weekday morning from 6 to 10 a.m. only on Ottawa's Pure Country 94.
And coming up, it's a new innovative device created at the University of Ottawa Heart Institute, and it was inspired by a classic Mexican dessert. Yep, that's right. We'll tell you much more coming up, but we're going to take a look at our Centennial Glass Skycam. As Melissa's been talking about, a beautiful weekend. Blue skies to kick off our Monday. Maybe a little bit of rain in the future. We have a jam-packed hour coming up. Stay with us. We're watching CTV Morning Live.
Chu delivers towards the far post. Oh, what a wonderful delivery.
Welcome back, everybody. The Ottawa Rapid FC fell 2-1 to the Montreal Roses Sunday afternoon at TD Place. Ottawa's DB Pridham evened the score with the Roses in the 58th minute, but Montreal would come back and put up one more to win the match. The Roses maintain their lead at the top of the Northern Super League. Ottawa plays again on Saturday at home against the Calgary Wild.
Welcome back to CTV Morning Live. Here's what you need to know right now. Emergency officials in Gatineau are investigating after 2 people were found dead from suspected carbon monoxide poisoning.
In your forecast this morning, some sunshine to kick off your day. Mainly sunny skies out there right now. We are sitting at 14. 28 is the high into the afternoon. A mix of sun and cloud for us today. So beautiful sunny day for your Monday. On your roads this hour, it is heavy now, volume east to west. We are seeing slowdowns Richmond, Pinecrest, Woodruff, Carling, right through into downtown. If you are heading eastbound on the 417, westbound is still looking a little slow from the split in through downtown. Well, it's a sweet innovation at the University of Heart Institute, a tiny device that was inspired by a classic Mexican dessert, the churros. Here to tell us more about the device and how it will make bypass surgery procedures safer are Dr. Emilio Alarcon and Darianera Hernandez Sanchez from the Heart Institute. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us today. Let's first talk about how this all came to be, because it was all from the Mexican churros that made this little tiny device happen.
So everything started when we recruited Dr. Marcelo Munoz as a postdoctoral fellow in my team. We were very lucky that Marcelo is still with us now as an associate scientist. And in my team, what we do is we call it these brainstorming days, right? So we sit down and we think about like how we can do things better. And I remember that we had a discussion with one of the cardiac surgeons that we need to do bypass surgery, like revascularization of the heart after a myocardial infarction or a heart attack, better. So Marcelo actually went that weekend to one of these, festivals, and he came back on Monday and said, I found the solution. I said, what do you mean? I found the solution how to make these things better. And he said, like a churro. And I look at him, what do you mean, like a churro? So he showed me the sketch, and I said, after 2 hours of discussion, I said, you know what? We're going to get it done, but we need to assemble the team. And that happened like many years ago, like 5 or 6 years ago.
So it's been a long process.
Yeah, it's a long process because for that you need to really assemble from that churro concept to the device that the Yanira has in her hands. It's a long process. So.
Okay, so show us the device, Yanira, and basically explain how it went from this concept to creation.
Yeah, so what we would try to do here is blood vessels that help with CABG surgery, but also other kind of procedures as well. And if you look at the tiny device, it has some really special spiral channels that we have in the middle part of the device. And this is important because if we look at native arteries, that is what we're trying to make here, they have 3 different layers. They have the inner one, that is the one in contact with the blood. Then the second layer, that is the one that provides the mechanical strength to the blood vessels. And the outer layer. So focusing on the second layer, that is the one that provides the mechanical strength, we wanted to replicate what was happening there. And it has a native circumferential alignment And these spiral channels, what they do is that when we flow polymer or like a formulation through it, and we start extruding the vessel, it gives our vessel a circumferential alignment. We have proved that improves the mechanical properties of what we are doing right now. And in the future, we're planning to further optimize it to even make more complex structures.
And what did the old device look like before this one was created?
I mean, the initial prototype was a much larger one, like the ones you're using for making those. And we have to miniaturize that. That is the magic in here, right? Because we are trying to mimic complexity of the beauty and the creation of bodies into like engineering and biomedical devices. So we started big and we start making it smaller and smaller and smaller. But when you go smaller, the problem is that it's so complicated that I'm telling you, the guys, they were so frustrated, and we have very bad days and very good days. But we managed to get it this, and I'm still surprised every time I look at that and say, like, it's really tiny, but we have tinier versions in the lab.
Yeah, I brought this one because
you can actually visually see
it. But it should be actually much smaller than this.
And how is it actually helping in terms of when it's put into your body in heart surgery? How is it actually helping as opposed to the old method?
So the issue we have with after a myocardial infarction, a heart attack, if you need to have a bypass surgery, let's say that they have to take some tissues from inside your body and put it in there. It's like a bypass, right? But for not a small proportion of patients, that procedure is not going to work because they don't have the veins of the arteries that are not in good shape. And unfortunately for those patients, there is nothing else they can really do. So this device is designed to really fabricate on the spot very like a small diameter, any diameter, like very tiny ones, but at any length you want it. Let's say the surgeon said, like, I need 20 centimeters. We can make 20 centimeters. We need 10 centimeters, like with 1 millimeter or 2 millimeters inner diameter, we can make that. And that is the beauty of this. So this will be eventually manufactured in Canada with the different lengths. So surgeons, they will have the options, like, I need this and need that. They will come in here, get it, and just implant it in the patient.
So before someone who wasn't a candidate can now be a candidate for the surgery. Oh, that's incredible. And it's all inspired by one person seeing a churro created and thinking, hey, there's my idea. I love it so much. Well, thank you both so much for joining us today and kind of breaking down how this all happened. And keep on making those innovative projects. We love it.
Thank you so much for inviting us.
You're welcome. Lots more to come here on CTV Morning Live as we wrap up the 7 o'clock hour. Traffic is still heavy east to west on your Queensway. It is 7:55. Temperatures right now sitting at 14 degrees on your Monday.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Sanaya Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, the #1 Ford EV dealer in Ontario.
Good morning, 8 o'clock on the nose. Welcome to CTV Morning Live. Really glad you can start your day with us.
Yeah, it's been a beautiful day so far. Cruising through.
Absolutely.
The 8 o'clock hour. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. A beautiful day so far. Melissa, giving us 3 straight killer days.
Oh, I know. It's all going to come to an end, though, tomorrow, unfortunately. But enjoy today while you can. 28 is the high. Lots of sunshine in the forecast for us. Mainly sunny skies out there right now. A few clouds into the afternoon. Details in a few minutes. Right now, our news headlines.
Prime Minister Mark Carney will be hosting the G7 summit in Alberta, bringing world leaders, including U.S. President Donald Trump, to this country. This will mark Trump's first visit to Canada since he started repeatedly saying the country should become America's 51st state, and since triggering a trade war that soured Canadians on the American administration. Trump stormed out of the last G7 summit that Canada hosted in 2018, and many will be watching this morning's meeting, scheduled for 9 a.m. local time in Kananaskis, Alberta.
Homes, not drones! Homes, not drones! We want health care, no!
Hundreds of protesters took to the streets around City Hall in Calgary yesterday ahead of the summit's opening. There were protests against conflicts in Ethiopia and between Israel and Hamas, as well as Pakistan and India's latest conflict in Kashmir. And here in the capital, a group of Canadians will stage a die-in demonstration at 10:30 this morning in front of Centre Block.
And Iran fired a new wave of missile attacks on Israel earlier this morning, triggering air raid sirens across the country. Israel said so far 24 people have been killed and more than 500 injured as Iran launched more than 370 missiles and hundreds of drones. Meanwhile, thousands of Canadians remain stranded in Iran and Israel. Global Affairs said in a statement Sunday that it has not received any reports of Canadians injured or killed in the escalating conflict. The government continues to urge Canadians to register for the federal government if they are currently in the Middle East. And emergency officials are investigating after 2 people were found dead from suspected carbon monoxide poisoning. The Gatineau Fire Department got the call around 7 p.m. on Saturday night, and when they arrived, 2 people were found dead. It happened in the Aylmer area, about half an hour from downtown Ottawa. Fire officials say there was a carbon monoxide detector in the home, but neighbors say one of the victims lived there alone and was like family.
We're saddened, we're heartbroken, we're shocked. I don't know what to say. Hot days, she would come get us and say, "Why are you not in our pool? It's too hot, you need to swim." She's family.
And Gatineau police say the incident is not considered suspicious hiding. When officers arrived, a car was running in the garage. Police aren't identifying the victims, and an autopsy is currently underway.
Jewish and interfaith leaders gathered at Ottawa's National Holocaust Monument in a show of unity against hate. The gathering comes after the monument was vandalized with messages written in red paint last week. The paint was quickly removed, but not before making a painful impact on the Jewish community. Yesterday's gathering was about reclaiming the space and sending a message that hate will not be tolerated.
I'm here to pray with my brothers and sisters, but I'm also here to show that we want concretely to build these bridges that will allow for peace.
Police continue to investigate the vandalism, which is being handled by the Hate and Bias Crime Unit. We have yet to receive an update about any arrests or potential suspects.
An investigation is underway in an altercation that ended in a shooting, leaving a man with serious injuries in the city's south end. Ottawa police now say 1 person is in custody after the altercation led towards a shooting. This happened just before 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon in the 1600 block of Bank Street. Police say they believe it was a targeted incident and the investigation continues. And there's a recall notice to let you know about for a baby toothbrush that was sold at Dollarama. Health Canada has issued a recall for the Oracare Baby Brush Toothbrush, warning of a potential choking hazard. It says a manufacturing problem could cause the brush to break into pieces. If you have this item, you are urged to stop using it and return it towards the store for a refund. Health Canada says Dollarama has received one consumer complaint, but there have been no choking incidents reported to date.
A BC couple has the story of a lifetime to share about their engagement.
And then my gaze shifts and I notice this treasure chest.
The turtle was right there. It was like it was guarding the chest. It was the coolest thing ever.
And I'm like, whoa, like what is that doing here?
Maxwell Hone spent 6 months planning this one-of-a-kind marriage proposal to Kaylin Lindsay, saving the moment for when they were diving in the Galapagos Islands.
Oh, this is so awesome. Amazingly, everything almost went wrong. A strong current had moved the treasure chest he'd hidden, loaded with old pictures, a ring, and proposal letter. But the turtle they mentioned seemed to be doing them a favor, keeping an eye on the chest for them. And of course, she said yes with a thumbs
Wild.
up.
Got the ring and everything underwater. Oh.
That is so cool. Obviously romantic at heart, and the planning to do that for 6 months, and then all those different things that can go wrong, especially underwater. That's amazing.
That is very trustworthy as well, to like let that ring sit underwater even for a couple of minutes.
That's true. That's true.
Rings are not cheap. I don't even wear mine in the water because I'm terrified.
You just take it off, put it away. Yeah.
We have a fakie for the days of the water.
Fakie.
A little fakie. Yeah.
He was making that day unforgettable,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So nice to see that. And I'm hoping that today will be an unforgettably beautiful day,
Yes.
weather-wise here in Ottawa.
Turtle knew what was up. There was something shiny
There you
and
go.
expensive in
That's
that
why
box.
he was sitting beside
Yeah,
you.
that's what
He's
it's all
like,
about.
maybe if I just hold on long enough, I'll get a piece of this ring. Yes, lots more sunshine on the way for us today into your afternoon. A gorgeous day, and we keep on warming up temperature-wise. We are sitting at 16 now here in the city, so it is warm, it is beautiful, it is sunny to start off your Monday. 12 in Kemptville, 16 in Brockville. The Valley has warmed up. Earlier they were sitting at 5 degrees, so it was a bit of a cool start, but 13 now in Petawawa, 15 in Gatineau. Clear skies to start off your morning, so we're going to see lots of sunshine to kick off your day. Into the afternoon, you'll see some white stuff. Those are the clouds, so we are expecting a few clouds into the afternoon. Not to worry, still lots of sunshine throughout your day ahead. Mix of sun and cloud for today. Then as we head into tomorrow, it will start off a little bit cloudy for Tuesday, and then late in the afternoon, there's some green, spotty weather. Yes, we do have a chance of some scattered showers late in the afternoon on Tuesday, so if you have some plans, early morning Tuesday is when we will see a break from the wet weather. And then Wednesday and through Thursday, kind of some spotty showers off and on. The good news, the system will clear out in time for next weekend. Right now, we're seeing some very light winds gusting out of the southwest up to 20 kilometers an hour, so very, very light winds throughout your early morning. That will continue into the afternoon. Overall, a gorgeous day. Doesn't get much better than this. UV index very high today, though, sitting at 8 into the afternoon, so make sure you're taking precaution in the sun. 28 is your daytime high. And look, check out the 7-day forecast. Not so bad. We'll get that rain out of the way throughout the work week, and then next weekend will be nice and sunny. 27 is the high for tomorrow as well as in Wednesday, so temperature staying really hot and sticky over the next couple of days. As we head in towards the end of the work week, back down into the mid-20s, 25 on Saturday, but then hot on Sunday with a high of 30 with lots of sunshine. Here's a live look at your time saver traffic, and we do have heavy volume still on the eastbound 417 from Maitland to Parkdale. Westbound, moderate congestion now from Vanier Parkway to Metcalfe. The 174 is slow coming through Orleans. You'll be backed up from Place d'Orleans all the way through Montreal Road. Now here's your TSN must-see moment.
Hello there, welcome inside the Sports Center newsroom. Adam Scully here with your must-see moment from Sunday. And for it, we're heading to Philadelphia. Blue Jays visiting the Phillies. Bottom 5, Nick Castellanos hits one to left. Alan Roden runs it down, makes the grab, slams into the wall. Roden crashes into the wall at full speed, but hangs onto the ball to complete an incredible catch. Robin Castellanos of extra bases. That web gem is your must-see moment from Sunday. Monday on TSN, you can see Major League Baseball action when the Angels visit the Yankees. Coverage starts at 6 p.m. Central Time. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
Well, why not consider giving the gift of an experience for the graduate on your list? Dan Brennan from Breakaway Experiences is here to share some unique gifts that are very exquisite and great for the adrenaline seeker. Thank you, Dan, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
This is a great idea to get a gift for that graduate on your list. You always kind of wonder, what can I get them? Tell us about Breakaway Experiences.
Well, Breakaway Experiences, what we are is we're like a one-stop bucket list shop for gifts.
I love that.
And everybody's bucket list is different.
For
We like to
sure.
say mild to wild. Some people want to jump out of a plane. Others, you know what? It's a food tour or doing blacksmithing, right?
I love
But everyone's
that.
different. But rather than give someone for Christmas, birthdays, weddings, graduation, stuff, give them something cool, especially graduation.
And
They
that
worked
they'll
hard all year.
Remember for the rest of their lives, because it's probably a once-in-a-lifetime experience, I would imagine.
It's like amazing race experience to give them, because there's so many things from coast to coast. You give them the experience. You know what? You don't talk about the sweater you got for Christmas or your birthday last year, but you will talk 5 years from now about, oh my God, that whitewater rafting, oh, the
Right?
helicopter ride.
Okay, so you have 4 unforgettable experiences for us today. We're going to
Here in
start
Ottawa,
with
yep.
hot air balloon. Tell us about this.
Well, this is really neat. We actually have hot air balloon rides in Ottawa and 7 other spots across Canada.
Okay.
And you know what? I did it a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It's like you're with the wind.
Oh.
You're up in the air, you're flying, and it's so peaceful, and you get to see the Ottawa from a different perspective and just float with the wind.
Okay, it looks absolutely stunning. I'm not going to lie, Dan, I am terrified of heights.
Now, this might not be the one for you.
Hot air balloon might not be. I'm more of a mild person as opposed to a wild, but you know what? This sounds like a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
I know people who have been in them and just, you know, rave about the experience. This is something you will talk about for the rest of your life.
And it is actually calm. You're up
It's
high.
very safe.
but
You're
it's-
not soaring. Yeah, it's very safe. So if
But
you
that's
don't mind
okay.
heights, it's fine for you. All right, let's move on to
All
our
right.
next experience. This is a helicopter tour. I might be okay with the helicopter.
You're in a
'cause
bubble,
I'm
yeah.
good with planes, so helicopter might be more my type of cup of tea. Tell us about this experience.
Well, this helicopter ride, we've been working with them for years, and people love it. You fly out from the Aviation Museum, and up over the river, it's beautiful.
Wow.
Over Gatineau, the Parliament buildings, as you can see here. And it's just a really neat way to see Ottawa.
Beautiful.
And as a gift for someone, something they would love to do, but they probably wouldn't buy for themselves.
Yeah.
This is it, you know? And you can
Cool.
take up to, you can buy it for them, and up to 2 friends go with them, and have a great time.
And a helicopter, I think this is also like a great date idea.
Oh, it's
right? I'm looking at this, I'm like, this looks kind of romantic, being up in the sky in a helicopter. Different way to travel as well. Not many of us get to be in a helicopter ever.
It is. And last week, someone called us up, say, can I do a proposal up in that? And I was like, absolutely.
You're never going to forget that proposal.
No.
Hope they said yes. Okay, moving on. We're heading to the waterways. Tell us about the rafting
This is
experience.
really cool.
Yeah.
This is, you know, we think of whitewater rafting up at Bundaberg.
We do.
And it's a little, oh my God, crazy. This is
Beachburg,
family
yeah.
friendly from Britannia Beach.
Okay.
All the way down the Ottawa River. And you're going to get down to near the Parliament buildings. There's a few rapids in there, but
Yeah.
if you've ever driven along the Parkway,
Oh,
you'll
I'm seeing the rapids. Yeah, it looks a little bumpy in some spots.
just a little bumpy, but if you've driven along the Parkway
Yeah.
or downtown,
You'll
you'll
see
see all the
rapids.
islands and how beautiful it is. This is from the water perspective.
Okay.
And it's family friendly.
I love
and,
that.
And you go down to Britannia, they'll bring you back. It's just a nice,
Fun.
friendly rafting trip in the city.
Okay, so let's say if you have a graduate on your list, but you also have other kids and you want to include them, this is a great family
It
friendly
is, yeah.
one. I love
It
it.
is.
I love it.
But
I can
also
see-
another great date, afternoon, evening.
I see that. Wow, these are some great suggestions. Okay, last but not least, we're going into an airplane. This is like an old aircraft, though.
This is a biplane. This
A
is old school,
biplane, oh.
Snoopy and the Red Baron style, right? This as well takes off from the Aviation Museum, and this
Okay.
is really cool. It flies up over the river,
Yeah.
around downtown, Parliament buildings and back. The wind in your hair. It can put 2 of you in there, side by side, and the pilot will fly you over and feel the wind
cozy.
and look out the side, and it's really, really different and cool way to see Ottawa.
Absolutely. So the wind, so there's no, you know,
No cover.
No cover.
You'll have some goggles on and a
Really
leather hat if
cute.
you want, and the pilot, and you're sitting in front of them, and it's
Wow.
open air. It's just different, you know.
Absolutely. So different way to travel,
Yeah.
because most of us have been in an airplane, so this is just a little
This is like
bit
a
more
1942 or 3 vintage biplane.
So
Very cool.
Okay, and you have so many more experiences as well. This is just 4 of the many that you offer.
Coast to coast. The nice thing, you have someone who's going to school, working hard.
Yeah.
You want to get them a gift, give them something cool, say, hey, well done, and have fun. coast to coast from Vancouver Island to St. John's. We have experiences, and there's so many across this country we don't even touch yet.
Right.
But you can buy them the experience. Go online, click, click, click. No Canada Post, just boom, and you can send it to them right away.
Okay.
In Ottawa, for everyone watching in Ottawa here, you can send them the gift across the country, just like that.
Okay.
And they can be doing Dark Table, we're dining in the dark in Vancouver, Grizzly
much
Bear
fun.
Refuge Tour in Calgary, driving on a stock car in Edmonton.
From mild to wild. I love that. So
Absolutely.
there's something for everybody. What's the website to head for more of this information?
For cool graduation gifts
Yep.
for them, breakawayexperiences.com.
Breakawayexperiences.com.
And go check it out. If not, just go have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have a data
Just have a look at it,
So many
and
great
daydream.
ideas. Thank you, Dan, for joining us.
thank you.
Breakawayexperiences.com for more information, and you can book any one of these fantastic little adventures. Coming up here on CTV Morning Live, the rising cost of beef has many of us looking for alternatives. CTV Morning Live's Daily Dish is here to help us out this morning. Good morning, Ottawa. It is 8:16, nice and sunny. Start to your Monday temperatures right now sitting at 16 degrees.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Tanea Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barrhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barrhaven Ford, the #1 Ford EV dealer in Ontario.
Ready to grow your green thumb this season? Join CTV Morning Live every Friday as we plant the seeds for gardening success with local experts.
Good to Grow on CTV Morning Live, Fridays, brought to you in part by Robert Plant Greenhouses.
Here's a look at your forecast for today. Some sunshine to start off your morning and right through into your afternoon. A hot one today, a high of 28. The UV index high is sitting at 8 late this afternoon. Will.
All right, beef is quickly becoming a luxury item, and while many will still enjoy it over the summer grilling season, Ian Slipikoff, owner of the Michelle Meat and Deli, is here to share some affordable alternatives with us this morning. Ian, thanks for joining us with already this delicious array of what we have.
I know, with you being a big carnivore, making your mouth water already first thing in the morning.
I would like to say, so we do our first segment on meat cereal on Friday, and then you're here with me on Monday.
Just a big teaser.
Yeah, that's perfect. First off, I want to talk about the deli. And are you starting to see a hit when it comes to the meat sales at your restaurant?
You definitely see at the butcher shop there's a less propensity to buy meat right now. Beef prices have been out of control this summer with the reduction in the cattle, possible tariffs, higher feed costs. Cattlemen have basically been reducing their herds, producing less, and there have been a lot less meat available in the market, which has really driven up prices.
So is that the overall reason why, with the tariffs and all of that, just recently that's really driving up the price of beef?
Yeah, and there was a drought last year, which feed prices are more expensive this year. So trying to raise cattle costs a lot more money. So there are less cattle being raised. So with less cattle, shortened supply, it just is driving up prices like crazy.
Yeah, a lot of stuff goes behind the scenes. And obviously you have a great array here of delicious meat. Where do you source it from? Do you find that there's benefits to shopping a little bit more local with your meats? What does that kind of look like?
Yes, we try to get as local as we possibly can. All of our meats are Canadian. So everything we buy, our beef comes from Alberta, our pork comes from Quebec, and our chicken comes from Quebec. So those are kind of the best markets to find the best quality and the best consistency in product.
Yeah, well, obviously, we have this out for a specific reason, and you're going to show us a couple of ways to maybe save some money while still maybe having some beef alternatives, but then also, as you just mentioned, you've got some ideas that are really simple.
Yeah, very simple. People still want a barbecue. Beef's getting expensive. You want to have something different. So you can take a whole chicken, and as fun as it is to say spatchcock a chicken, essentially it's taking the back out and flattening it out. So I'll show you how.
Yeah.
So if you took your whole chicken, if you flip it over, you can see the back goes right along here. Just take a sharp knife, go down one side of it, right through, go through the other side. The back comes right out, flip it over, there you go. You just season it up, takes about 2 seconds. Very simple, you can put olive oil, rosemary, thyme, salt, pepper. Put it on the barbecue, takes about 35 minutes at a medium heat, and dinner's ready.
I'm immediately regretting minutes to hours now spent tearing apart a chicken carcass or whatever it might be, and it's just that simple stuff.
That's simple. Yep. I mean, it's just those little tricks that we know and that I could teach you. I mean, I've got a YouTube channel that shows how to do a bit of meat cutting, gives people at home a better idea, and that way you can buy some whole pieces and not really worry about trying to find what you're going to need to do. It's all right there.
Yeah, and you know
Easy
what?
to find.
And as you mentioned too, if you're having this periodically or a little bit more often, different spices, different sauces, you can always change it up.
Exactly. Lots of different alternatives.
All
Now,
right.
the
What
other
meats
thing,
you got? Yeah.
you know, even cutting up a whole chicken, I'd say probably 90% of people don't know what to do with a whole chicken. So when you want to buy it and it's whole, you can roast it. You know, you can put it on the barbecue, you can do beer can chicken. But it's simple. If you cut it up into pieces, it's going to get you 2 or 3 meals. Takes a couple of minutes, or a couple of seconds, that's it. So you can start by the wings and just cut right underneath, right at the corner here, and the wing comes out easy. Same thing on the other side. You can almost, you call it the armpit. So the wing comes out. You can cut right each side of the leg. And if you look, you can actually just split it in half that way. So now you got your legs apart.
Yep.
And same thing we did with the back. Now you've separated your legs. And essentially you're going to do the same thing with the breast. So right through. And now you've got 2 chicken breasts, 2 chicken legs, and you got your wings.
And look
nice
how
and easy.
And look how much is not wasted, right? The only part is just what you cut out in the middle, and the rest is food. Like that's at least a couple of meals. Well,
100%.
I mean, for you, that's probably half a meal, maybe
half
for
a meal.
you.
I mean, for you who eats a pound of beef every morning,
yeah,
that's half a meal.
And what else you got for us? Because meats today, people obviously on a budget with the rising costs. What are some suggestions you would have if people still want?
For sure. I mean, one great thing here is a boneless pork loin. So you can find them sometimes. They have them on sale at grocery stores. It's just a whole boneless pork loin. Very simple. And what you can do is you can cut your own pork chops. You just take your knife, and yes, I have a bigger knife, but your kitchen knife at home will work. And if you want a nice thick pork chop, boneless, easy.
Boom.
You want to do butterfly pork chops?
Oh yeah.
Got a nice butterfly pork chop there. You want a thicker chop?
Dealer's choice.
Yeah, however you want. You have a few people coming over, save some money, cut some beautiful chops, marinate them. There's all sorts of different marinades you can find, and it's very simple.
Yeah, and the good one for that one too is you can cut a little bit bigger of a piece for Ian,
Yep.
and then the kids maybe a little bit smaller.
You can also cut it into a roast. Anything's possible.
Yeah. So what would you say, as of right now, is one of your favorite dishes that you're liking to make for everyone at home going, I might try that this week?
I really love these flattened chickens.
Yeah.
So they're so simple on the barbecue. It's very easy to season. 35 minutes. You can probably fit 3 on your barbecue. On average, decent-sized barbecue, you can fit 3 of them. So if you're feeding a lot of people, you have 8, 10 people at your house, your kids come over, they've got their friends. Simple meal, not too expensive, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, this is a perfect time to have you in here. Ian from Dumichel Deli and Meats, we really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
Wonderful ideas throughout the weekend. Now I'm officially hungry. If you would like to hop in, maybe have a daily dish idea, email us, ottawa.morning@ctv.ca. We'd love to have you. Rosie, over to you.
Thank you, Will. A fun night out with the girls or a cute date night. Check out the annual Capitol Pop-Up Cinema for a free movie viewing of fan favorite picks under the stars. Joining us today to tell us what's on the roster is Georgina Dunn. She is the operations manager for Capitol Pop-Up Cinema. Good morning to you, Georgina. I just love this. I really, that summer has arrived when Capitol Pop-Up Cinema takes off. And so first off, tell us about what you have coming up, all the different movies. Like what's the whole theme behind it?
So we really like to play in with nostalgia. We have a lot of, most of our movies are sort of the classic movies that you grew up watching, whether that's your parents or your grandparents, or even the kids as well. It's a really good mix of sort of family favorites, like cult classics, comedies, kind of have everything for everybody.
Okay, so what do you serve at the pop-up cinema? How does it work?
Yeah, so we have a concession stand that you're able to purchase popcorn or sour keys and water. We can also we also have chairs that you can rent as well, but we encourage you to bring your own. You can also bring your own blankets, that kind of thing as well.
Okay, so I was just about to ask you about what should you pack so that you can really enjoy yourself. You can bring a chair.
Yep.
Blanket.
Chair, blankets. With the films that we have probably next week and the next couple of weeks, it gets a little cold, so I'd probably suggest bringing some cozy layers just to keep yourself warm. You can bring your own snacks as well. And also your dogs. All of our movies are dog friendly too.
You like the fur babies.
I love the fur babies.
Love it. Let's talk about some of the movies that are coming up. Okay, so the first one we got is Spaceballs.
Yes, yeah.
This is the craziest, quirkiest classic out there.
It is, yeah, and it's something that we've had a lot of people asking us for a long time.
Really?
So, yes.
Starring Rick Moranis, you got the great late John Candy, and it's a chance for maybe, you know, some folks haven't seen this movie and some have, and you can go, come on, let's go see this movie. And this is why it's so nutty and so, what an interesting take.
Yeah.
So, that's an interesting pick. Next one, one of my favorites, The Princess Bride.
I love The Princess Bride.
Oh my goodness, remember As You Wish. As You Wish. That's starring Robin Wright Penn, Carrie Uwes. I mean, this movie is so charming. And so I remember when it came out, I was like, wait, I love this movie. I'm in love with this movie. And then you see a lot of celebs, a lot of stars in this movie, and it just unfolds with such humor and charm. And there's a message in there too.
Yeah, it's always one of our most popular screenings. Like, we get asked to show it every single year.
Okay, speaking of popular screenings, what about this one, Parent Trap?
Yeah, we're showing the 1961 Parent Trap. It's something that, again, we have a lot of people asking for. It's something that they watched when they were kids, and now they want to show their kids that movie as well. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You said 1961?
Yeah, 1961.
That is incredible. And I know that a lot of people know the modern Parent Trap with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan. This one goes back even further, and there's a lot of people who go, wait a minute, no, I know about the Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan one. By the way, another one's coming out a little bit later. But this one takes you right back and shows you the original.
Yeah.
I love the whole theme behind this, you know, showing the classics, and you want everybody just to come out, have a great time. When do the films normally start?
They start at dusk, so when it gets dark enough outside for the screen to show, right now that's about 8:45, 9 o'clock-ish. 8:45, 9 o'clock-ish. You've got these classic movies happening, and the next one is what date? June 27th, so not this upcoming Friday, but the Friday after.
June 27th, and if folks want more information?
They can go to our website, capitalpopupcinema.com, or all of our social media channels as well.
Georgina Dunn, thank you so much. There it is, Pop-Up Cinema, June 27th. You got Spaceballs, Spark Street, and then June 28th, The Princess Bride, As You Wish, Upland's Military Community Center. Hope you can make it out there. It's so much fun. Thank you again, Georgina. Melissa.
Jewish and interfaith leaders gathered at Ottawa's National Holocaust Monument Sunday afternoon, sending a message that hate has no place in Canada. CTV's Caitlin Wilson has more just days after the monument was defaced with red paint.
Its memory will stay with us as a reminder of a certain malevolence against the Jewish people.
It's meant to be a place of remembrance and reflection, a national monument honoring the victims of the Holocaust. But last week, the national monument became a crime scene after vandals defaced it with red paint and the words, "Feed me."
My father was a survivor of the Holocaust. His mother and father and sister were murdered during the Holocaust. It was particularly personally a very painful hate crime.
On Sunday, Jewish and interfaith leaders stood shoulder to shoulder, representing diverse faiths with the shared message that hate will not be tolerated.
I'm here to pray with my brothers and sisters, but I'm also here to show that we want concretely to build these bridges that will allow for peace.
The event deeply personal for survivors and their families.
I'm the daughter of Ruth Gottlieb Katz, a Holocaust survivor from Nazi Germany. To vandalize a Holocaust monument is to trample on the memories of the assaults, the brutality, the kidnappings, the tortures, the scientific experiments of 6 million Jews and 12 million who survived.
The gathering comes amid a rise in anti-Semitic incidents across the country. According to a global task force report, incidents in Canada have jumped more than 170% since 2020.
This hate crime is just the tip of the iceberg. In the last 7 days, of course, there has been a tremendous escalation of conflict in the Middle East as between Israel and Iran.
And while the paint may be gone, the impact remains. And for those who gathered, it's about reclaiming a sacred space.
We are resilient and we shall prevail.
Here's a live look at your drive-in this morning. We're still seeing some volume out there as you head off to work this hour. It's picking up a bit at Richmond, but Pinecrest in through Carling. Still a few slowdowns this hour. We are collision-free on your roads this morning. Hot and sticky weather on the way. 16 is where we're sitting right now with a high of 28 this afternoon. It is 8:34. You're watching CTV Morning Live.
CTV and TSN 1200 want you to be the Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week. Your team could win $1,000 for new equipment, tournament fees, or an incredible team party.
Shoot us a quick video, upload it at ctvottawa.ca. Whether it's hockey, ringette, choir, band, or any team in between. Each week, the winning team will join us live in studio at CTV Ottawa at 6 to claim their prize.
Enter today for your chance to be Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week.
Ottawa is always on the move.
We're a big city
with a laid-back vibe.
Where foodies love their sweets.
And markets bursting with flavor.
Wrapped up in waterways.
And hot summer days.
This is a city where culture is on display.
And the future
meets the past.
Where people come together.
Always proud.
Often loud. Whee!
And positively the best place to live.
We move with you, Ottawa!
Good morning. It is 8:39. Here's a look at your forecast for today. We are sitting at 16 degrees. Lots of sunshine to start off your Monday. A high of 28 this afternoon. Will.
This is going to mark the first time Trump has come to Canada since he began saying he wanted to make Canada the 51st state. Let's check in with Bill Carroll from the Morning Rush on Newstalk 580 CFRA. Good morning to you, Bill. What a day it's going to be.
Yeah, and if you don't think these G7 summits are important, you make the point about this is his first visit since he started to talk about our sovereignty. Would any of that happen if things hadn't gone so very wrong last time we had a G7 in Canada? Because maybe you won't remember this. I think some of you will. But apparently Justin Trudeau and Donald Trump had talked about the very thing that we're talking about now, or one of them, steel tariffs, and that they'd reached some kind of an agreement. And then Justin Trudeau stepped outside, met the media, and talked tough, like he was going to stand up to Donald Trump and get an agreement. Donald Trump, the story goes, was watching this on Air Force One and was furious. Up until then, I think he was very charmed by Justin Trudeau. He used to talk about what a handsome fellow he was, and there were always photos of them posing together. Donald Trump likes good-looking people, and so, everything seemed to be fine in our relationship. After that, it changed. Donald Trump takes things personally. I know that will surprise some of you, but yeah, he takes things personally. And he was understandably angry if that story is true, the way it's being told. But you would hope a world leader wouldn't take it personally and turn on an entire country. So, there are tariffs on every country in the world. Canada would probably be part of that. But would he have been as tough on Canada recently, if not for how badly things went the last G7? I think probably not. So Mark Carney, our new prime minister, has to be very careful here. He has to flatter Donald Trump. He has to play to his ego. But at the same time, he has to be seen by Canadians, and I think by Donald Trump as well, as being strong and will stand up to him. So not going to be easy. They're supposed to meet today. There was a lot of talk that we'd have some kind of a trade agreement, at least the outline of one, in time for the G7. It seems kind of last minute now, but you never know. I wouldn't hold my breath for it. But it's going to be a big day, and it's going to be a big week.
Absolutely. And you know what, Bill? I think that the main goal here, as far as I can see, is to keep the peace. I mean, Mark Carney has invited Prime Minister Modi from India, also the president of South Africa, and also, of course, the president of Ukraine. And there you have Donald Trump will be amongst them. So I'm looking for, will folks get along even, let alone actually have some sort of geopolitical agreement or policy?
Yeah, there's a strong indirect message there to Donald Trump from the Prime Minister, and that is there are other possible partners out there. There are other powers in the world that we can agree to make deals with. So take us seriously, and I think that's probably a very positive thing. So we're off to a good start. But remember, Donald Trump's feelings are easily hurt. If, as a Canadian, you happen to run into him, don't mention the military parade this weekend and all the memes that made fun of the, let's admit it, mighty U.S. military. But boy, that parade looked disorganized and sloppy. And did you see the video of the guy holding up a little drone like a teenager or a real estate agent trying to get a photo of your house? And this is the U.S. military. It didn't go well. But just tell him if you see him, it was the biggest, the most beautiful, the boldest parade ever. You've never seen anything like it. And so many people showed up. It was the biggest crowd ever.
Got it. Thank you, Bill. You have a great show.
You too.
You can listen to The Morning Rush with Bill Carroll on News Talk 580 CFRA from weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m.
All right, this year the Ottawa Public Library is expanding its teen programming with a greater focus on life skills development, helping teens build confidence and practical knowledge through fun, hands-on experience. Allison Smedley joins us this morning. Thank you so much, because not only are you here at a perfect time, but also I need to start reading again because it's been so long. We were talking about we're finally back.
Everyone has phases in life where they need to get back into it, come back to the books.
Yeah,
I get it.
Definitely. And you know what? That's a perfect segue, because really great news. You're starting to see an uptick in the numbers of people going towards the Ottawa Public Library.
We are. Our annual report just came out, and in 2024, we saw more than 3.5 million individual visits.
Whoa.
To library branches in person.
And compare that to kind of over the last few years, what you've seen. When you've seen the decline, like how big of a number is that compared to the past?
I don't have an exact number, but I will say that we've definitely seen a sharper uptick in those visits post-pandemic. And so it's really great to see people coming back into their free public spaces. I think we all know the current economic environment is such that people are looking for free, fun things to do, and they're coming to borrow books and check out programs, which is wonderful.
Yeah, you used a very good word in there, free. Everybody definitely likes free. You have a brand new program coming, the Staycation. It's the Teens program. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Teen Staycation is basically a series of fun, free activities and hands-on workshops for youth ages 13 to 18. So we want to get teens into the library, into the air conditioning. And yeah, we want to send them home with a book, but we're also just about bringing them in to explore their interests and have fun with their peers.
Yeah, I think that's important. We actually talked about that earlier, because when you're coming in, it will be nice. It is summer. It's okay. The AC is going to be cranked on.
Yeah.
What are some other activities that you got going on throughout the summer, not just the Teen Staycation?
So there's programming for all ages. This summer we really do focus on teens, school-age children, but also there's writing workshops and book clubs that run through the year. Yeah. For teens in particular, there's really exciting offerings. We have all sorts of our library staff deliver amazing stuff, but we also have partners we bring in. So we have someone coming in to do how to take a sewing pattern and make it work for your body. We have a virtual program for teens that's gender neutral makeup basics, Dungeons and Dragons gameplay. Yeah.
There's a wide variety of different activities, and even just talking about those few right now. One for each and everybody that wants to come in, learn a different skill at the public library. If you were to say towards the teens, if they're hesitant or they're thinking, man, I don't know if I want to come to the public library, what would be your message to them to get them in the nice, cool AC door rooms?
I would say just grab a friend, go to a local branch, check it out. We have teen-specific spaces. So they're cozy, comfy spots where you're surrounded by basically all the best books. And then a lot of the programs are actually drop-in. So you could just stop by, check it out, or maybe go to an online program first and then come to an in-person program. I'm sure your parents would love if you came to a making sandwiches and wraps workshop at the library so that you could feed yourself a little bit easier.
Ease off the stress of them making your lunch every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, skills that you need to learn. We were talking earlier too. You've got some great books here. And you know what, this is a perfect opportunity because obviously summer, spring, going into summer, camping season, so it's even little things like that that can kind of get you in the mood.
Yeah, for sure. Parks Canada is doing a Camping 101 for teens, and I'm going to go buy s'more supplies this week.
Oh.
This book has camping on the front, but we're going to buy some s'more supplies for the teens who are coming to the camping programs.
Yeah, well, you can't really do like the camping and the campfire without s'mores, right?
Yeah, and we know that if you want teens to come, you need snacks.
Yeah, definitely. How to get them in? Snacks and AC. If parents are looking to register their kids in certain programs, obviously you said that there's an open door policy on certain days, but how would the parents do that?
Yeah, for sure. BiblioOttawaLibrary.ca is the website. You can register with any active library card. It doesn't have to be your teen's library card. You can sign them up. Yeah, go check it out. There's a ton listed under programs and events, and it's a series listing. So Teen Staycation will show you everything for teens.
Awesome. Well, you know what? A lot of excitement. The numbers are up. The activities are unlimited. Allison, it was so wonderful to have you stop by today and maybe get me back into camping.
Thanks for having me.
All right, here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam and maybe perfect conditions for camping in our future. Blue skies. It is a beautiful Monday morning. You're watching CTV Morning Live.
Here's a look at your forecast over the next 12 hours. Bright and sunny and hot for your Monday. A high of 28 later on today. Mainly sunny skies out there this morning. A few clouds into the afternoon. Yes, we're all dancing behind the scenes this morning checking out that forecast. UV index high though, so make sure you lather on that sunscreen or try and find somewhere to cool off today. 16 is the overnight low, so even the overnight lows, not too bad. I know we've dropped down. Last week it was like single digits in the morning. Not going to be the case this week. And then we'll see a little bit of rain on the way. So Tuesday and through Thursday, there is a chance of some scattered showers. Not a complete wash of a day, but you know, some rain here and there throughout the next couple of days. Don't worry, the sunshine is back just in time to end off the work week and to kick off your weekend next week. Temperatures this week quite hot. High 20s to start things off, mid 20s throughout the middle of the work week. Then check that out. Our first temperatures being into the 30s this season. 30 degrees is the high for Sunday and Friday. First official day of summer. Now let's check out your TSN must-see moment.
Hello there, welcome inside the Sports Center newsroom. Adam Scully here with your must-see moment from Sunday. And for it, we're heading to Philadelphia. Blue Jays visiting the Phillies. Bottom five, Nick Castellanos hits one to left. Alan Roden runs it down, makes the grab, slams into the wall. Roden crashes into the wall at full speed, but hangs onto the ball to complete an incredible catch. Robin Castellanos of extra bases. That web gem is your must-see moment from Sunday. Monday on TSN, you can see Major League Baseball action when the Angels visit the Yankees. Coverage starts at 6 p.m. Central Time. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
All right, so through the day today in our social room, we've been talking about your favorite memories from your graduation, and we're going to see some more of what you've been sharing with us this morning.
Nicole says, I worked for my Bachelor of Science in Nursing for 7 years and graduated in 2007. I was grateful for my family being so supportive. Congratulations to you. Oh, what a major accomplishment. Thank you for sharing that with us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, and also being able to recognize too the gratefulness for the parents, and obviously that's probably been a really long journey. So doing that is just, that's so awesome.
Well, see if you can recognize this.
Yes!
Yeah, that's me. That's my high school graduation photo. I won't tell you the year. You can do the math if you know my age. But yeah, I couldn't find any from my prom, but my parents have this, you know, sitting up in their house. So I had to take a photo of the photo because I don't have digitals of this. I only have the actual print.
The hard copy.
Right? We don't get digitals back in the day.
No.
So you can see it's a photo of a photo. But yeah, that was my high school graduation.
This.
Short hair, brown hair, that's my natural hair color. I am not a natural blonde. I'm giving away my secrets.
But you know what? You look good like that. You look good as a blonde. I'm loving it, and I'm loving the eyebrows were on fleek back then.
The eyebrows,
makeup was on fleek.
yeah.
I mean, come on.
She knew what she was doing from
You know
a young
what's
age.
so funny from the eyebrows in high school? The pencil thin eyebrows were in style, and I had thick. I called them my caterpillars because like I have thick black eyebrows, and I could never get that thin little pencil look. But all my friends' moms used to say, your brows, don't ever ruin your brows.
ever
Don't touch
touch
them.
them.
And then bushy brows became the style. And thankfully,
so
I didn't.
Mine disappear in the summer because they go blonde.
They go
and then,
blonde.
So, you know, in the next couple of months, as summer's coming up, you might not even
Where
see
does eyebrows go?
Who's that new guy's eyebrows? Does he have any? They're gone.
I'll give you some of mine.
I was going to say I might need some tips.
Yeah, maybe a little makeup tip here and there. But I just love that. I mean,
Yeah, it's
graduation, like you remember it. We're so glad that you shared your stories with us. I don't have any digital photos, and my photos are back at my mom's house because there's digital digital way back when I graduated. Ancient times there. But I remember exactly what I was wearing, how I
love
felt.
that.
You will never forget it. And once again, we're just so glad that you could share those pictures with us. And we're so glad Will, our new
First
co-host, is
official
with
day
us.
in the books for you, Will.
Nice job, man.
Thanks for making me feel so welcome. It was a phenomenal.
You can
first
stick
day.
around. You can stay, buddy.
So the shirt can stay. I don't have to move
Please
it?
stay.
No, don't have to move it. We'll see you right back here tomorrow morning. Take good care.